the power like BITCHUTE.
What's the status, 3?
I'm good, just making the world a better place, that's all.
Between earth and God. Between earth and God, I'm a byproduct. I come from a family of hustlers. That byproduct, money is the root of all evil. But I'm still trying to find a large profit. It's a mirage, they live in a facade. I was smoking thigh and had a talk with God. She told me why she named me John. I art the scriptures to shed light on the darker picture. If you my dog, I'm barking with you. Be feeling the star wisdom. My homie Chuck told me it was giants on earth before me. And chemtrails we inhale. That's another story. Mercury is used to check temperature. The sun is the spirit sinking us. The moon is the portal. Assuming you important. Set your turn. Mars is wars as the M turn. And change words. I'm in the game, but change service. About to disassemble a bomb. I ain't nervous.
Drake, Dragon, Draco, Draconian, land of the giants, ice wall, Patagonian, lexicon, word wizardry, speaking Babylonian, highways of the vortex, shooting out the fallopian, low vibrating light, king of the material, mark of the beast, nanotech, scanning serial, the mental dead, carried by 6 to your burial, the lights is out. No resurrection, broken power grid, no interconnection. The Grim Reaper, I'm still collecting. 6-shot, hollow tip, rubber grip, Smith & Wesson. Bitch, repent when God is in your presence. Your aura is weak, uproot your essence. I walk through darkness, highly illuminated. Eyes blazing with fire with blades double serrated. Hunting down clowns I double hated. Hit so hard your jaw is elongated. Shatter egos like they was glass plated. This was long overdue, past dated. One shot deal, it is as is and no recreation. All praises due to my parents for making. Always appreciate and never abated. One.
The A is the M, like the A is the E. Where earlier I said A, you know how somebody say A. That's AI. And that's the dream, like, don't.
Check it, yo. I always be analyzing to see who's fake. People acting Janice, running around two-faced, talking behind my back until they put in their place. You're a 2-course meal without saying grace on the internet. Talking shit through your fingertips, talking high power till your shine is eclipse. Trying to ride a wave until your mind is seasick. Cement shoes and your ankles tied with 3 bricks. This isn't Grand Theft Auto, this is real life. I will piss on your grave and throw dick to your wife. This is a warning mixed with some advice. You might be king, but I'm the ace of spades, and you just reneged. This is food for thought, bitch, eat a grenade. This is what people want, to be treated like dirt. I tried being humble, but that was absurd. All the brainless pigeons flock together like birds, pecking for crumbs until they merge with the crossroads and chuck the demi-urge. I think they had enough, I took the trash to the curb. Let the torture begin and watch them burn. Here's the urn.
It's hard to keep it real with fake people. They can take love, mix it with hate, and make evil. I'm staring at 50 shades of gray people. It's a grand deception, like K-Drino. They are who they say they isn't. On the internet, spreading everybody's business through a gatekeepers, trying to stop the ones trying to awake people. HOTC, nigga.
Ew. Top of the motherfucking AM. So where did I leave off here? I think it was let's see. Chapter, I know it's chapter 3, part 3, the book of Job, or Job. I was halfway through it. So, let me get started. The quicker I start, the quicker I'm done. So I left off where it says, in the states of depression and despair, much of the libido, which normally maintains conscious interest and vitality, has sunk into the consciousness. This in turn activates the unconscious, causing an increase in dream and fantasy imagery. We can assume that such an occurrence happened to Job. Personified images from the unconscious come to Job in the form of friends and advisors and speak to him in active imagination. These figures confront him with another viewpoint and gradually draw him closer to the encounter with the numinism, I don't know, Yahweh himself. One of the evidences that the speeches by Job's counselors are authentic active imagination is that they are contaminated mixtures of several elements. They are partly elaborations of the conventional religious viewpoint that Job has discarded, but they are also partly genuine, autonomous expressions of the deeper layers of the unconscious. This kind of contaminated mixture of different things is common in active imagination. Hence, the process, to be productive, requires the alert, active participation of consciousness which leads to real dialogue, and not just a passive acceptance of whatever the unconscious says. For instance, in the first speech of Eliphaz, Job is told, think how once you encouraged those who faltered, how you braced feeble arms, how a word from you upheld the stumblers and put strength into weak knees. But now that adversity comes upon you, you lose patience, it touches you, and you are unmanned. This can be considered as Job's own self-criticism speaking. He is realizing how easy it had been for him to give advice and help to others, but now he can't take his own advice. This self-criticism can only depress him still further and make him even more miserable. I think that's Eliphaz, I don't know. Eliphaz continues with superficial reassurance and conventional expressions which perhaps Job had given to others in distress. Does your blameless life give you no hope? For consider what innocent man has ever perished. Where have you seen the upright destroyed? These shallow and unrealistic thoughts are of no help. They are a whistling in the dark against the reality of life, which is pressing against Job so heavily. Perhaps the very expression of such a superficial, wish-fulfilling view was enough to dissolve it, at least temporarily, because Eliphaz immediately shifts to a deeper chain of associations. Eliphaz tells Job of a numinous dream, considering the entire dialogue as Job's active imagination. It will be Job's dream that he is being given or being reminded of. A word stole into my ears, and they caught the whisper of it. In the anxious visions of the night, when a man sinks into deepest sleep, terror seized me, and shuddering, the trembling of my body frightened me. A wind brushed my face and made the hairs bristle on my flesh, and a figure stood there, whose shape I could not discern. An apparition loomed before me, and I heard the sound of a low voice. Can mortal man be more righteous than God, or the creature purer than his maker? Shortly later, Job himself mentions frightening dreams. When I think that my bed will comfort me, that sleep will relieve my complaining, thou dost terrify me with dreams and affright me with visions. Blake has done a striking illustration of Job's dreams. In the picture, Yahweh is entwined by a serpent, his satanic side, presumably. He is pointing to hell, which has opened up beneath Job and threatens to engulf him by flames and ominous clutching figures. The depths of the unconscious have opened, and Job is faced with the primordial power of nature. Obviously, this is nothing with which to argue, any more than one would dispute with a tiger he chanced to meet. But Job does not learn from his dreams. He must have a more powerful lesson. Job is convinced of his innocence and righteousness, and hence unconscious of the shadow. For this reason, his companions must speak repeatedly about wickedness and evil ones as a compensation for Job's one-sided, conscious attitude of purity and goodness. Job is dimly aware that his experience is making him feel bestial and dirty. At one point, he exclaims, "Am I the monster of the deep? Am I the sea serpent that thou settest a watch over me?" And later, "Though I wash myself with soap or cleanse my hands with lye, thou wilt thrust me into the mud, and my clothes will make me loathsome. At one point, he does acknowledge past sins. Wilt thou chase a driven leaf? Wilt thou pursue dry chaff, prescribing punishment for me and making me heir to the exquisites of my youth? He does not say what the exquisites of his youth were, and obviously does not consider himself responsible for them now. Thou past sins will be repressed contents which he does not want to make conscious, since they would contradict his self-righteous image of himself. Job's self-righteousness is revealed most clearly in chapters 29 and 30. If I could only go back to the old days, if I went through the gate out of the town to take my seat in the public square, young men saw me and kept out of sight, old men rose to their feet. Men in authority broke off their talk and put their hands to their lips. The voices of the nobles died away, and every man held his tongue. They listened to me expectantly and waited in silence for my opinion. I presided over them, planning their course like a king encamped with his troops. But now I am laughed to scorn by men of younger generation, men whose fathers I would have disdained to put with the dogs who kept my flock. Job's scornful attitude towards his intellectual inferiors is perhaps one of the iniquities of his youth. and indicates an inflated ego which projects the weak, shadow side on others. The process of individuation requires that he consciously accept and assimilate his dark, inferior side. The overall effect of Job's ordeal is to bring about a death and rebirth experience. However, in the midst of his complaints, he is still the once born man. He reveals his ignorance of the twice born state in the following passage. If a tree is cut down, there is hope that it will sprout again, and fresh shoots will not fail. Though its roots grow old in the earth, and its stump is dying in the ground, if it scents water, it may break into bud and make new growth like a young plant. But a man dies and he disappears. Man comes to his end, and where is he? As the waters of a lake dwindle, or as a river shrinks and runs dry, so mortal man lies down, never to rise, until the very sky splits open. If a man dies, can he live again? As the dialogue continues between Job and his companions, a mixture of profound truth and conventional, banal opinions are expressed. Peace, fools, and tools, and maggot. Generally, he advised to return to the traditional and orthodox views. He is told to accept God's chastening humbly without questioning or trying to understand. Or other words, he is advised to sacrifice the intellect, to behave as though he were less conscious than he is. Such behavior would be a regression, and he quite properly rejects it. Instead, he remonstrates against God and says, in effect, if you are a loving and good father, why don't you behave like one? In daring to contend with God, there can be no question that, from one standpoint, Job is acting in an inflated way. But the whole context makes it clear that this is a necessary and controlled inflation. It is essential for the encounter with God. Fatal inflation would have occurred if he had taken his wife's advice to curse God and die. But Job avoids both extremes. He does not sacrifice the measure of consciousness he had already achieved. But also, he does not curse God. He continues to question the meaning of his ordeal and will not relent until he knows for what he is being punished. Of course, the very fact that he thinks in terms of punishment means he is relating to God in an immature way, in terms of a parent-child relationship. This is one of the attitudes from which insistence that he discovered the meaning of his experience. He challenges God boldly, saying, "Take thy heavy hand clean away from me, and let not the fear of thee strike me with dread. Then summon me, and I will answer, or I will speak first, and do thou answer me." In chapter 32, a change takes place. Job's three companions have finished, and now we are introduced to the fourth man, previously unmentioned, named Elihu. He claims he had refrained from entering the discussion previously because of his youth. This brings up the theme of 3 and 4 to which Jung had drawn attention. If Elihu can be considered as the previously missing fourth function, Job's totality has finally been constellated. This interpretation also fits the nature of Elihu's discourse, which is largely a prelude to Yahweh's appearance and presents many of the same ideas Yahweh is to express, even more forcefully. Particularly noteworthy are Elihu's remarks about dreams. In dreams and visions of the night, when deepest sleep falls upon men, while they sleep in their beds, God makes them listen, and his correction strikes them with terror. to turn a man from reckless conduct, to check the pride of mortal man. At the edge of the pit he holds him back alive and stops him from crossing the river of death. Shit. I got a long way to go. Anyway. This reference to dreams and their function has an astonishing psychological occurrency. It is further proof that Job is the report of an individual's actual experience. Evidently, Job's unconscious tried to correct his conscious attitude through dreams without success. The dreams can thus be seen as an antiception of Job's later conscious encounter with Yahweh. It is amazing to find in this ancient text a description of the compensatory function of dreams, which Jung has only recently demonstrated. Following Elihu's speech, Yahweh himself appears. The numinous transpersonal self manifests out of the whirlwind. Yahweh delivers a magnificent speech, which must have been the product of a great deal of conscious effort in trying to assimilate the raw numinosity that surely accompanied the original experience. Yahweh's reply is a review of the attributes of deity and a majestic description of the difference between God and man, i.e., between self and ego. Where were you when I laid the earth's foundations? Tell me if you know and understand. Who settled its dimensions? Surely you should know. Who stretched his measuring line over it? On what do its supporting pillars rest? Who sets its cornerstone in place? When the morning stars sang together and all the sons of God shouted aloud. The ego did not make the psyche and knows nothing about the profound foundations of which the ego existence rests. Have you descended to the springs of the sea or walked in the unfathomable deep? Have the gates of death been revealed to you? Have you ever seen the doorkeepers of the place of darkness? Have you comprehended the vast expanse of the world? The ego is being reminded that it knows nothing about the psyche in its totality. The part cannot encompass the whole. Can you bind the cluster of the Pleiades or lose Orion's belt? Can you bring out the signs of the zodiac in their season or guide Aldebaran in its train? Did you proclaim the rules that govern the heavens or determine the laws of nature on earth? The ego is here being contrasted with the size and power of the archetypes, which determine psychic existence. Then Yahweh turns to the animal kingdom and passes in review the uncanny powers of the beast, especially the most monstrous ones of all. Behold, behemoth, behold behemoth, which I made as I made you. Can you draw out Leviathan with the fish hook, or press down his tongue with the cord? Now Job is being shown the abysmal aspect of God and the depths of his own psyche, which contains devouring monsters remote from human values. This aspect of the theophany, as pictured by Blake, is shown in 27. Behemoth and Leviathan represent the primordial concupiscence of being. God reveals his own shadow side, and since man participates in God as the ground of his being, he must likewise share his darkness. The ego's self-righteousness here received the coup de grace. By the conclusion of Yahweh's self-revelation, Job has undergone a decisive change, a repentance, or metanoia has occurred. I had heard of these by the hearing of the air. But now my eyes see thee, therefore I despise myself and repent in dust and ashes. Job's question had been answered, not rationally, but by living experience. What he has been seeking, the meaning of his suffering, has been found. It is nothing less than the conscious realization of the autonomous archetypal psyche, and this realization could come to birth only through an ordeal. The book of Job is really a record of a divine initiation process, a testing by ordeal, which when successful leads to a new state of being. It is analogous to all initiation rituals, which attempts to bring out a transition from one state of consciousness to another. The cause of Job's ordeal is Yahweh, through his dynamic agency, Satan. Satan's psychological role in the Job story is described cogently by Rivka Scharf Kluger. Says he, Satan, appears here in full light as the metaphysical foe of a peaceful life and worldly comfort. He intervenes as a disturbance and hindrance to the natural order of living and step in man's way. Like the Malah Yahweh as Satan in the path of Balaam. However, while the Balaam story concerns the experience of a clash of will and blind obedience, a first realization, so to speak, that God's will, not one's own, must be fulfilled. In Job's case, it is a matter of conscious submission to God's will, born of inner insight. Satan is here truly, Lucifer, the bringer of light. He brings man the knowledge of God, but through the suffering he inflicts on him. Satan is the misery of the world, which alone drives man inward into the other world. This description of Satan, which must be acknowledged as psychologically accurate, brings him in close proximity to the figure of wisdom. In Ecclesiasticus, the feminine personification, wisdom is described in these terms. Wisdom brings up her own sons and cares for those who seek her. For though she takes him at first through winding ways, bringing fear and faintness on him, plaguing him with her discipline until she can trust him, and testing him with her ordeals. In the end, she will lead him back to the straight road and reveal her secrets to him. According to this passage, wisdom puts her sons to the test just as Yahweh did Job. Through the agency of Satan, the favorites of God receive the severest ordeals. It is one's potential for individuation that causes the test. John Donne makes his observation. The best men, let me make this bigger. The best men have had most laid upon them. As soon as I hear God say that he hath found an upright man that fears God and something evil, in the next line I find a commission to Satan to bring in Sabines and Chaldeans upon his cattle and servants, and the fire and tempest upon his children, and loathsome diseases upon himself. It says, I find that beloved son of his deserted, abandoned, and given over to scribes and Pharisees, and publicans, and Herodians, and priests, and soldiers, and people, and judges, and witnesses, and executioners, and he that was called the beloved Son of God, and made partaker of the glory of heaven in this world, and his transfiguration is made now the sewer of all the corruption, of all the sins of the world, as no son of God, but a mere man, as no man, but a contemptible worm? Huh. Although the testing may bring wisdom, it is a fearful thing, and hence the Lord's Prayer requests that we be spared, and do not bring us to the test, but save us from the evil one. Really? Jung considers that Job was released from his despair through a process of increasing consciousness on the part of a deity. Kluger reports the following remark of Jung in paraphrase. In his great final speech, God reveals himself to Job in all his frightfulness. You know, you ever notice all this shit based on fear? It is as if he said to Job, look, that's what I am like. That is why I treated you like this. Through the suffering which he inflicted upon Job out of his own nature, God has come to his self-knowledge and admits, as it were, this knowledge of his frightfulness to Job, and that it what redeems the man Job. This is really the solution to the enigma of Job, that is, a true justification for Job's fate, which, without this background, would in its cruelty and injustice remain an open problem. Job appears here clearly as a sacrifice, but also as the carrier of the divine fate, and that gives meaning to his suffering and liberation of the soul. Rudolf Otto, the man who gave the experience of the numinosium, its first clear formulation, has used Job's encounter with Yahweh as the example of the numerous experience. I quote him at some length because the passage conveys so well his understanding of the numinous mysterium. And then Elohim himself appears to conduct his own defense in person, and he conducts it to such effect that Job avows himself to be overpowered, truly and rightly overpowered, not merely silenced by superior strength. Then he confesses, therefore I abhor myself and repent in dust and ashes. That is an admission of inward conveniencement and conviction, not of impotent collapse and submission to merely superior power. Nor is there here at all the frame of mind to which St. Paul now and then gives utterance, e.g. Roman blah blah blah. Shall the thing formed say to him that formed it, why hast thou made me thus? Has not the potter power over the clay of the same lump to make one vessel unto honor and another unto dishonor? Oops. To interpret the passage in Job thus would be a misunderstanding of it. This chapter does not proclaim, as Paul does, the renunciation of the realization of the impossibility of a theodicy. Rather, it aims at putting forward a real theodicy of its own, and a better one than that of Job's friends. A theodicy able to convict even Job, and not only to convict him, but utterly to still every inward doubt that assailed his soul. For latent in the weird experience that Job underwent in the revelation of Elohim is at once an inward relaxing of his soul's anguish and an appeasement which would alone and in itself perfectly suffice as the solution of the problem of the book of Job. Even without Job's rehabilitation in chapter whatever, where recovered prosperity comes as an extra payment thrown in after acquaintance has been already rendered. But what is this strange moment of experience that here operates at once as a vindication of God to Job and a reconciliation of Job to God. Shut this old ass off. After reviewing the example of his mighty works as presented by Yahweh, Leviathan, Behemoth, etc., Atto continues, assuredly these beasts would be the most unfortunate examples that one could hit upon if searching for evidence of the purposefulness of the divine wisdom. But they no less than all the previous examples in the whole context, tenor, and sense of the entire passage do express in masterly fashion the downright stupendous, the well-nigh demonic and wholly incomprehensible character of the eternal creative power. How incalculable and wholly other it mocks at all conceiving, but can yet stir the mind to its depths, fascinate and overbrim the heart. What is meant in the mysterium not as mysterious simply, but at the same time also as fascinating and august. And here too, these latter meanings live not in any explicit concepts, but in the tone, the enthusiasm, and very rhythm of the entire exposition. And here is indeed the point of the whole passage, comprising alike the theodicy and the appeasement and calming of Job's soul. The mysterium simply as such would merely as discussed above be a part of the absolute inconceivability of the Numen, in that though it might strike Job utterly dumb, could not convict him inwardly. That of which we are conscious is rather an intrinsic value in the incomprehensible, a value inexpressible, positive, and fascinating. This is incommensurable. This is incommensurable with thoughts of rational human teleology, and is not assimilated to them. It remains in all its mystery, but it is as it becomes felt in consciousness that Elohim is justified, and at the same time Job's soul brought to peace. The Job drama is personally applicable to all. It speaks immediately to the almost universal question, why must this happen to me? We all have an underlying resentment against fate and reality, which is a residue of inflation. Such resentment takes many forms. If only I had a better childhood. If only I were married. If only I were not married. If only I had a better husband or wife, etc., etc. All of these, if onlys, are the means by which one excuses himself from relating productivity to reality as it is. They are symptoms of inflation, which will not grant the existence of a greater reality than one's personal desires. Job asked why his misery should happen to him. The answer that emerges from the book of Job is so that he may see God. Blake has captured the essential feature of the individual's ego in this picture at the repentant and rejuvenated Job. What is pictured is the sacrificial attitude. Having experienced the transpersonal center of the psyche, the ego recognizes its subordinate position and is prepared to serve the totality and its ends rather than make personal demands. Job has become an individuated ego. And then I'll do part 4 tomorrow, the individuated ego. I could have sworn I read that already, no? I have to check that out. And then we'll be at chapter 4 after that. How much more I got in this book? Page 124. Looks like I'm only halfway through this book. I could read and read and read, but Peace Crystal, good to see you here. What's the point, you know? Like, at least I do a little bit here and there and it'll set in. Got a couple of these video clips. Let me upload them. Oh man, I'm gonna have to go looking for these fucking things now. Oh, here it is. Alright, back. Are you kidding me? StreamYard, what is up, man? It's always a problem. It's always a problem. Is this the video? There's this, one of my favorite MCs, man. KRS-One growing up. KRS-One means knowledge reigns supreme over nearly everybody.
You are the master of your reality, if you can understand that. You live in a fantasy, if you can understand that. Bob Marley said something interesting. Emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our mind. Have no fear for atomic energy, because none of them can stop the time. Stop here. The entire strength of this colonial system, none of them is above nature. When we look at these groups, we are looking at what they are advertising themselves to us as. This is a propaganda and perception game. These groups, they are designed to deceive. There's no truth in them. So as long as you know nature, God, the universe, or should I say this? God, universe, nature, that's your gun. G-U-N, God, universe, nature. Remember that gun, I'm putting a weapon in your hand. That's the gun you fight back with.
Wow.
Boo! Now that's some wisdom. That was one of my first. Man, I would have to say KRS-One was before Wu-Tang. But I think my style comes from Wu-Tang, KRS-One, and myself. Peace, Danny, Skylark. Who the hell was named Skylar? Hold up. Danny Skylark.
I don't think I fought for the country. I fought for some politician's view on something. And I remember one dude in particular that I killed. Like, I shot his buddy, and then I came through his room. I killed him in front of his wife in a bedroom because he went for a gun. And I think about him now, and it's like, all right, why did I kill that guy? Well, because he went for a gun. Okay, but why did he go for a gun? Well, because I was in his fucking room at 2 in the morning. Well, why was I in his room at 2 in the morning? Well, because George fucking Bush was pissed that Saddam Hussein allegedly wanted to kill his dad, so we invaded. And then I start to think, was this guy funny? What if I met him in Paris over a coffee? Would we have actually liked each other and I just kill him because a politician sent us here for weapons of mass destruction that didn't exist? don't think I fought for the country. I fought for some politician's view on something. And I remember one dude in particular that I killed. Like, I shot his butt.
I respect that soldier just for that, being honest. He
It's
knew.
being honest. You're being used like a pawn goof, pretty much.
He knew.
And you're allowed to see that with no repercussions because it's allowed. So I'm allowed just to fucking blow. I'm allowed just to pull up and fucking kill everybody. You know what I mean? Because somebody told me I am. But if you don't play a game,
You wouldn't be able to say that if he was still in uniform.
you'd be in military jail. What the fuck? It's probably another. I'm surprised. I don't know, man. They're allowing him to say that. It's probably some more controlled opposition again in people's minds,
But that's why I think that's why they're having a draft, because more and more people are seeing that no one's really joining the military because they see the bullshit. They're not fighting for the country. They're fighting a political disagreement. Has nothing to do with our country. It has to do with fucking politicians can't solve their own problems. Bush was a piece of shit.
Yeah, but they're playing off of something that's silent. They're playing off the mental game. The silent wars. That's the main thing. The physical. That's just fucking smoke and mirrors. It's creating a fucking enemy when the enemy is the reflection.
Now, I was fucking looking at a few pictures here, and I couldn't help but notice a few things with this Trump thing. I'm not saying any of this is factual. This is just my observation. Now, they had this guy here, right? This so-called fucking preacher, right? Well, what colors does he got on? He had to throw the red in there. Red, black, and white is satanic colors. I'm not saying it's true. It could be some mild coincidence. He just decided to throw on a red. But hey, then here's my other picture. StreamYard, you better get your shit together. Not letting me upload certain pictures. Like, come on. What do I pay them for? And then the security guard right here. Well, if you could zoom in on the picture, he has a upside down pentagram. I mean, there's so much Satanism around. It's a little clear as day if you got the eyes to see it.
Like some satanic panic. Oh, Satan! It's different. Like most people are actually de facto quote Satanists. If you want to bring it, it's egoism. It's people caught up in their own, their me and their I, kind of thing. You know what I mean? Caught up in that, and it's kind of like set up to be like that, right? It's in a way, it's a self-preservation. A self-preservation mechanism.
They much rather the troops can solve any problems with people who have mental or physical problems.
Yeah, pretty much everybody's infected by this fucking idea in the West, right? In Western society and shit.
Yeah, so much for freedom, right? We're so free, we still got to be told what to do, or not we, but most people. Now look at this guy's fucking. I've never seen nothing like this with skin. Unless he has a mask on his head, which I'm not saying he does, but it's near his ear there's wrinkles. That's the only wrinkles on his whole dome piece. Like, whatever, I don't know. Just a theory. Those wrinkles were weird to be near his ear like that.
He has one of those ultra realistic fucking skin mask fucking things.
Maybe.
There you go.
Maybe, you never know nowadays. What was I going to bring up? Oh, I was looking into this. I write it down. Stuff called. This one I wrote it down. Fuck. Of course, I can't find it. It's called METYRRR or MYR. Some mare, I think it's called. I took a picture of the book. This
The
is the book.
Wandering Warrior. What are you wandering? What are you trying to find? Have you found it yet? Are you ready? Are you ready for the next level or no?
I call myself wandering because I'm always on the move, wandering around.
Yeah, but are you trying to find? I know you're trying to find some. Have you found it yet? And I'm saying, are you ready or no?
I'm always ready for war, but
Not for
I'm
that.
mostly looking for myself, which I haven't found fully yet. This
Maybe
book
that's
right
what you're
here,
trying to find then. Yeah.
I got to
Wandering
get
around.
this book. It's called Ancient Remedies Revived, and they have this anti-cancer plant. It's called, I think it's MYR, it's Mare or something, or let me look it up. Mare, I think it's MYRR. Thought I wrote it down. I don't know where, so I can't find it. Yeah, I'm 43 and I still don't know who I am.
You know what? Just the fact that you're questioning that you don't know who you are means you definitely know who you are. To a higher level, it's like a genius. Just like, I'm the smartest person, you know, like I'm a fucking genius. Or it's like a crazy person saying I'm not crazy, or you know, like you know what I'm talking about, right? Well, somebody's insane is not going to question if they're fucking insane or not, kind of thing. Like they're gonna think they're completely fucking, you know, on it. Well, when you question it, it's just like I don't know who I am. It's like questioning like if you're. That means you're not. That means you do know who you are, guaranteed.
Who are you? That's what I ask myself when I look
I'm
in the
terrible at
mirror.
explaining this shit, bro. My bad. I think you
I'll be like, who are you?
know who you are, bro.
Oh God. No.
You know, I want to say you're a part. You're definitely a part of it.
Yeah, we're like an extension. We're like an extension cord.
It's like this, and like in the Kabbalion shit I was playing on my multiple times. What they say is like imagine somebody in like a Shakespeare play or a movie saying like, "Oh, I'm Shakespeare. I'm the director," or whatever. You know, there's different layers and levels to experience and reality that were being put into it. You know? So, it's like somebody in a fucking place saying like, you know, I'm not. No, you got put in there to even think about it. It's like,
Did you see
you're not
London's
that. You're
video?
which one?
He put out a new video. I think it came out on Saturday.
To be honest, I've never really watched. I don't really watch anybody's. It's not just London. I don't really watch anyone. I just hit the link on my live. You know.
Fuck. Damn it, I knew it. I have to let this charge. Yeah, I gotta look. I'm gonna look this up. This. I gotta start taking this plant stuff more serious. This month coming up, I'm gonna buy some lion's mane, a bunch of other stuff, and really start treating my body as a temple. Why is it MYR?
Well, it's attachments, right? So you have to be not detached, but not hold on to even the idea of your physical body and death and ego and all that. You're ready to die. You have to. That's the only way to grow. It's like evolution. You ready to die or no?
Not yet.
I'm not saying you have to
Not yet.
physically. It's like a mental state. It's like something that you're
Hmm.
holding on to, an attachment, a mental.
Yeah, I pretty much killed the old Chuck.
Well, you're still holding on to it, but it doesn't mean you have to kill it. That's your foundation. You can transmute it, but you gotta. I'm not saying you gotta do anything, but it's more of it's a program being ran. I don't know. It's a part of a program that many people, including myself, we all hold on to certain things, right?
Man, it's hard to break a lot of this programming.
Yeah.
People don't admit it, but I'm still
I
breaking a lot of my wording and shit.
it's very difficult. It's a constant fucking practice. You have to, you know what I mean? Like if somebody tells you it's like a completely easy, nothing of value comes easy, right? Like you have to put some sort of energy, effort into anything in order to get any sort of result that's you can look at.
I think this is the tree or the plant. Um, it's Myrrha. It's very spiny and it grows. I think this might be it. If this is the anti-cancerous plant, allegedly, I don't know how true that is, but yeah, I don't think this is the right one. So don't say that. Anyway.
Which
Oh
tree
yeah,
is
it
this?
is. It says myrrh extracted from Commiphora myra was a precious commodity in the ancient world, as it was used to create perfumes and incense. Myrrh was traditionally used in the ancient world and an insect repellent, incense for religious rituals, and embalming the dead. Really? Physicians also took advantage of its medicinal properties, treating it for several ailments, including wounds, diseases such as leprosy and syphilis. Damn. And to help digestion and menstruation.
Yeah, like it looks like a plant you can definitely get. I think the sap within the sap, the xylem is probably where the medicinal benefits lie. You can like tap a tree.
Yeah,
You throw some.
like
You like hit a tree and it fucking starts bleeding out sap.
like yeah, like yeah, like they do in Canada
Yeah.
with their sap.
There could be other things within the bark and shit, like an alkaloid. You should search on Mimosa hostilis. Hostilis.
Fucking Red Sox can't even beat the Dodgers. What a joke.
And that was used for dye too. The Mimosa hostilis.
Um,
That's the bark of the root. You know what I mean? That's where
wow.
you can extract, like DMT and all that.
I gotta get Jaron Durant's rookie card. Freddie Freeman. Fuck him. Galvin Lux. Fuck him. Teoscar Hernandez. Fuck him. Yeah, Red Sox, you guys blow. Couldn't even win if you fought the game. Oh, that was cool.
Real shit. The Wandering Warrior is a great name.
Shohei Ohtani. How did the fucking Dodgers sign all these people? James Paxton? Anyway, fuck it. 2 tears and a biscuit.
You're still in the ball games or ball games, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
Take me out to the ball game. Da, 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 da. You're getting fucking energy, bro. What you're trying to make? Just play it. If you want to fucking play that shit, fucking. What you do, like sports betting or something? Is that what it is, bud? The plot thickens. That. Are you a gambling man, Charles?
Esoteric. Where the hell's Sir Drop? I gotta find Sir Drop. We need to keep making classic hits.
Oh yeah. Well, keep it up, man. There's no such thing. It's not gambling, though. Remember.
Have you had any chance to hear Eminem's new album? It's actually pretty good. I think it's better than his last 4 albums.
I haven't heard any of them. Any 4 of them, no.
He put out, forgot the name of the new album, but it's pretty good.
I'd rather hear your fucking music, you know what I mean? Fuck that shit.
It's called Esoteric Polarity.
What, you're saying that's the album name? Are you kidding me?
Oh no, the album's name is The Death of Slim Shady or something like that.
Okay, I'm saying someone needs to come up with an album called Esoteric Polarity. Maybe that'll be yours.
Maybe. I should actually. That's a good title. Have my alter ego, Chuck the God,
Yeah, you
and
can
Charles
spawn like a
Wise.
Slim Shady type fucking archetype character, you know. Kill it,
That,
bring
you
it back
know,
to life.
it's funny when people bring that up. They'd be like, "Oh, look at Vanilla Ice," or they'd be like, "Oh, look at Eminem." It's like, I was rapping before Eminem even came out. Not to say that I started before him, but it's getting old when people do that. They'd be like, "Oh, it's Vanilla Ice," right? It's like, got anything else to say? I never looked at hip hop as a color thing. It's about the lyrics.
It's about the lyrics. Is also like, at least in my experience, like, when I grew up, bro, everybody's sitting around. They fucking start freestyling and shit. And it's like, yeah, you go in on it too. It's like, what, Cage, you're not gonna go in? Come on, Cage, go in. I didn't really like going in, but everybody always wanted me to and shit. I mean, like, Cage, fucking go in on it. I'm like, so. And even, like, a lot of my friends growing up and shit, they're like big in the music, like millions of views and stuff. Different genres too, not just rap. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I would like to make some other music besides just hip hop. Like I could adapt to all types of beats. I want there's some talent in the community where people play guitars. Like, you know, I would like to just create a versatile album with different sound.
Yeah, you know, create your own thing, someone different, someone that will stand the test of time. You know,
Yeah, I
like
would like to
classic.
do it some more with Sir Drop, man. I think me and Sir Drop make we're both lyrically inclined, but I don't know how. I gotta talk to Drop, see what's up.
Yeah, see, in a way, like, you know, it's a great form of expression because you're putting your energy in a form. You can go back, you know, you can go back like years later and you know, like remind yourself of what the fuck you're even thinking at the time. You know what I mean? It'll like initiate it, it'll restructure it. Foundation has been set. You know.
Yeah, Sir Drop. I like listening to his music. He has a lot of good lyrics. And I want to do a track with Hurricane JW too. He's got good music.
That's what it's about, networking and that, you know, building, you know, network.
I've been working on some new lyrics. Every day I try to write. What I got so far.
Let's hear what we got.
Let's see. All right. I got stuck on this, but I started it with I said breaking down reality to the smallest fragments, from micro to macro, where containment is absence, where infinite void exists outside these facets. It said when the sky fell, the stars wept. In deep hibernations, the giant slept. I'm I'm God between two pillars. That's a 7-Eleven. People won't get that, but
Fucking, you're going poet on it with that one. That's some poetry. Which part did you get stuck on? It didn't seem like you
the
got
last
stuck
part.
anyway. What part?
I said people get offended from the words that I pronounce. It's not my fault you label yourself with pronouns. I'm using double entendres. I guess I'm a pro now. I'm so lyrical, it's spiritual, uplifting, and profound. People love pressing my buttons, but you can't pull my strings. I cut ties, count the stones in my crown, shine as the rays from the sun beam down. People learn more if you show them, not what you told them. I plant seeds that root and grow stems. Eat the forbidden fruit, and knowledge becomes gems. Looking through the author's eyes, allegorical scriptures, metaphorical mixtures, creating a visual and audible pictures. You're just a dipshit drinking implausible liquors, numbing the pain, not prepared for what awaits, not thinking straight. Problems bomb on you like war in Kuwait. I haven't finished that yet, but I'm going to use that next, I think.
Bro, that's poetry. Well done. You know, I can't really keep going with it.
I always thought poetry was fucking the same as hip hop, you know, like
Well, it's
look
like
at
modern day
Tupac.
poetry, right? In a different expression.
Yeah.
Them old poets like W.B. Yeats, for example. You should look into W.B. Yeats' poetry. You know what I mean?
Have you
Super
ever heard any
esoteric.
of my music, Crystal?
Super hidden knowledge, esoteric shit you can learn from that time.
I have this it was supposed to this verse was supposed to go where I said Drake when I said Drake, Dragon, Draco, Draconian. Well, If people remember, I had written that, but I took some of that and made that verse. But this, I was supposed to put down this verse, and it never happened because when I heard the beat, I had to. It didn't fit. Like to me at least. Where is this fucking verse here? Right here. Is this the one? Yeah.
Yeah, bro. It's like modern day poetry. You know what I mean? It's an expression of your
I said
observation of reality, and that put into words and form, and intonated through the fucking sound frequency vibration of, you know, of speaking. You know? You're putting it into form.
I said, it's pure light. I carry the torch, a born rebel. Since I was born, I dance with the devil. Chessboard squares, playing field is level. Open your pineal or forever be blind. The spine is the ladder where serpent energy intertwines. Aries the head, God's throne is divine. Master of alchemy, turn water to wine. Fire, agua, baking soda, coke. Your mama, my cock on the sofa, stroke. Me no disrespect, sometimes truth will invoke. But don't act brazen, because these bullets don't be grazing. When you're looking into the light, I don't mean stargazing. On the 4th of July, let's celebrate the illusion of freedom. Living the American dream until I realized I was dreaming. I was told, don't listen, it's the influence of a demon. I laughed and said, more like an archon. Spirit is energy, can't exist without an archon. All these religions has you blind in the dark, huh? It's not the fall, it's how you pick yourself up. Speaking from experience, do I give a fuck? I took the route to evil, the power of a buck. Look in people's eyes, the power of that trust. I read feelings, electromagnetic, emotion in motion like full-blown calisthenics. Zero is the womb, birthed all nine. It said zero has no value, zero is prime. Female energy, the woman is divine. Polarity comes together, creating the trinity. As above, so below, and a lemma is infinity. Electromagnetic stars rotate in proximity. My observation on a stationary plane. With the cosmic egg, all is contained. We are God's energy in chaos and constant change. Our vessels we rent to experience the terrain until tears shed like pouring rain, returning to spirit while loved ones feel the pain.
I like that entendre with the archon and the arc on. You know, the arc. You know, goes to geometry and all that. That was proper.
Because somebody called me an archon. They made some video. I don't even know the guy, which is funny. He made
Oh,
some
that's what you're
video.
referring to in that. Okay.
Well, no, I created the. I said I created. The guy called me an archon, and I said, "Yeah, I hope my arc is on, because I'd be dead if it wasn't." He called me an archon and an energy thief, and all. I don't even know this dude, which is
Well, you're
funny.
like the cherubims, the archons, the Elohim, and all. It's just like a. I want to say that's like a. Being called an arc, you can call people a bunch of worse things than an archon. That's not even like a diss or like something negative. I don't think. Maybe if they don't understand what it is, I don't know. Why do you call you an archon?
He was trying to like disrespect me, but trying to maybe get me to react to his ignorance. I don't know. In reality, I didn't even watch the video. People came to me and said, "Chuck, man, somebody's making a video about you," and I said, "Let them." Pay no mind to that shit.
And who gives a fuck? Doesn't really matter.
Right. That's what I was thinking. He's entitled to his opinion, but he don't even know me, so for him to even say anything is fucking what's the word I'm looking for? It's inaccurate. I don't know. Solemn symphony. I'm all muted. That's my new saying. I'm gonna get a shirt. Life is like a box of dildos. You never know how you're gonna, or you never know how you're gonna get fucked over. I forgot how I said it, but
All right. Well, that may have happened in the past, and that may be true, but that's not. Moving forward, I want to make that like a fucking motto for your life. You're gonna keep seeing that then. I mean,
I
you
just said
bend over at that
that.
point.
Peace, Candy.
Life's like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get. You know. There you go.
We
Forrest
can't
Gump.
even use this right here,
Forrest Gump.
the swastika, without people thinking it's racist. You can't even show the Confederate flag, which has 13 stars, which is the center Polaris with the 12 zodiacs, the four corners, the four directions. They're always, hold on. You know who has arrived from the ether.
I felt
He is
a
back.
disturbance in the force.
There he is. I knew you'd have to show
Page.
up eventually, you fucking guy. Summoned yet again, Uno.
Apparently. Who's making videos about you?
I don't know. I don't know about it.
Lord him up with that. Okay.
I have no clue. I wouldn't even know where to look. What did you think about? You don't live in the U.S., right? You know who? No. What did you think about Mr. Trumpety Trump allegedly taking? They almost took a dump right on his face.
Yeah, all part of the script. We were all waiting for it.
Waiting for.
But everybody's saying that, oh, he's the beast with the head wound, which is complete nonsense. Even
that's a CJB book fucking.
yeah, no, CJB, he's right about a lot of things, but he's also
now he's moving. I think So this is like completely. I went and tried watching. I'm like, what the fuck is this guy talking about? He's literally just.
Yeah, he's a little bit. I think it was maybe Einstein who said that. Maybe not the best reference when we're talking about CJB, but he said there's no genius without a little bit of insanity or something. And CJB definitely qualifies because he thinks he knows everything, but well, he doesn't. I can tell you what the beast with the head wound is, and even Christian scholars, they know this, that the Vatican or the papacy is
I didn't even think of that. The beast with the head wound.
The beast with the head wound, yeah, because it got dismantled by Napoleon back in the day. It got murdered by the sword, as they say, yeah. And then it got resurrected, and it's about, the entire world wanders after the beast and follows the beast and makes images onto the beast, which is the cross. But anyway, They'll
Well, yeah.
probably
When I
just
when I hear cross and beast, what I automatically assume is,
well,
right?
there's
That's like
seven.
that's
There's
the
really
confinement of the mind. It's an allegory, and the
there's,
beast is really the thing looking with. Or everybody has that within them. It's called the fucking reflection. You know, looking in the mirror. You can transmute it. You can let it run rampant. It's a subconscious program running rampant. You know,
Peace,
there's like
Dominic.
there's an algorithm to reality. You know, he's through the mind, and that it's like, oh, you believe all these things, and guess what? You can't spell fucking believe without a lie in it. First of all, you believe that. Yeah, it's gonna come into form in one way, and another delusion. It's fine. Doesn't mean you have to be like vindicated and fucking, have a quote accident.
I was gonna say something. I don't remember.
I'll come back to you. Have you had waffles hung up at the back door lately?
What?
Waffles hung at the back door, freshly baked.
No.
They'll appear eventually.
Nah. Token tried to invite me to some fucking, I don't know, some chat on Discord, but not interested.
It's gonna play along. It's like, yeah, it's like, what are you gonna like? What do you really want to tolerate? Sometimes solitude is better. It's up to you.
So who's replacing Biden? I heard he stepped down. I don't know if that's true or not.
I don't know. I think it's that chick, the vice president, Dildo Whopper.
Dildo Whopper.
What's her name?
The Burger King, bro.
I can't think of her name. Is that the current VP, right?
I don't give a fuck. I have no idea.
Yeah, I was talking about the shut up, Gage. About
they're all working together either way.
About the beast, but it has 7 heads, which is essentially 7 beasts. You know, the Vatican is just one of them. You know, they all follow. It's the dragon with 7 heads. You know.
Well, it's like a weed. If you want to get rid of that, you don't focus on one head or the other. You fucking go for the roots. Take it up, uproot all of it.
And the 7 heads are 7 kings.
This is the one you're talking about?
Yeah. The beast from the sea, that's the dragon. And then you have the beast from the earth, which is Israel, which is confirmed in the Bible. I think it's Isaiah, something like the harlot is Israel, you know.
And isn't this kind of like all allegorical, kind of pointing to a greater process? It's not a literal beast with 7 heads and shit.
No, it's not literal, but it refers to, you know, the 10 tribes of Israel, because there's 10 crowns, but there's only 7 heads. But there's only 7. There were only 7 electors in the Holy Roman Empire.
Yeah, because they're assessed. That comes to the Hermetic principle of 7. 7 is.
Yeah, Lucifer is 1/7. Is a 7 letter. He's the 1/7. The one god of the 7. You know, of the underworld judges.
Exactly. So the 7 leads back to the 1.
Yeah, exactly. If you look at the Vatican, There's actually on the top of it, there's like these statues. There's like seven statues in the middle of them, and they're all like arranged with like a 1-3-3, which is essentially, when you look at the word Lucifer, that's also a 3-1-3 word. Luz, and an I, which is an I, you know, I fair, which is 3-1-3.
Is this some sort of a cipher? No,
Well, you know, they all.
Come on, Lou.
My theory is
Lou,
that
cipher.
these civilizations, these underworld civilizations, they use AI pretty much for everything. Their entire civilization is hooked up. What the thing that we're afraid of this civilization becoming, that's what they already are. You know, they basically get controlled by this AI. That's what I believe. Like the AI is basically in charge, and the AI is, I guess, Lucifer. But it has these. It uses beings as its tools. You know. Trump, for example, do you think he just, you know, all that he just moved at the right time to, you know, it's like there is no way that the sniper is that accurate, and like the timing of it, it has to be something. You can almost say supernatural, but it's not. It's really not.
You can edit reality right now if you really wanted to get into it. You can fuck with timelines.
All right.
Supposedly that's what gematria is for, you know, but who knows?
Gematria.
Well,
I wouldn't put too much, you know, effort into deciphering gematria, to be honest, because it's not gonna help you with anything or give you any understanding. It's just gonna give you more questions.
That's like anything else. You can say that for any inquiry or any fucking thing. Yeah, if you believe that, I'm not going to get anything. You can get everything or nothing out of it. It's up to you. It's how you approach it. But you're correct, because you said you're not going to get anything out of this, and you won't. That's it.
Yeah, seven chakras. Yeah, that's, you know, where it all comes from. And all the religions and all these beliefs and, you know, supposedly spiritual practices, whatever. You know, you have to. What is it called? Awaken your Kundalini serpent power or something? Yeah, I don't think. I think I'll pass. I think I'll pass, to be honest.
That's what she said. You gotta awaken like Kundalini.
Well, I don't need any serpent power, to be honest.
The injured seven-headed beast. I can't find nothing interesting. Not the picture I'm looking for, at least. The one where they have the seven-headed dragon and they put the fucking spear into his head. I can't find that one.
Actually, you know who else was murdered by the sword? Jesus. You know, that's it. Really,
all that's true.
References to the Catholic Church, Jesus.
According to the Psyop Bible, you know, in the Bible, it says Jesus came to bring a sword, not peace. To break.
Yeah, but that's what he's talking about. Division. He's talking about a sword or a knife is used to cut things in two. It's used for dividing stuff. You know,
what's words spelled backwards, palindrome style? Words are swords, right?
Wow, bro. Yeah. Dro.
Words, sword.
Anyway, how much time have we got left for the election?
So it's July. It'll be 3.5 months. I'm voting for me. Yep, I'm gonna cast the vote and vote for Lucifer.
I'm not gonna throw my hat into that ring. You know, the main thing is understanding this and putting your consent out of it. You don't you take your consent out of it, and then guess what? They're gonna have to face fucking natural law and reality after. You know what I mean? Like
I would vote.
Compliance.
I would vote for Biden too, maggot.
So you remove your consent, Because it could be implied consent. Even saying nothing or doing inaction automatically defaults you to a specific law and correspondence. So remove your consent, and guess what? They can do whatever the fuck they want, and it's terrible. They know it's gonna happen.
Till a point, they try to follow, the law supposedly, but you don't want to antagonize the system because it will come after you.
If I think it can, no, they would have done that a long time ago. It's been trying to do that. It's not gonna happen.
Trump is the one who is trying to save Israel. That sounds crazy, maybe to some people, but the whole idea, the whole Jewish beliefs or plan is to actually destroy. Shut up, Cage. I'm talking. So they want to destroy Israel because they believe that Israel it all needs to be destroyed, that dome needs to be destroyed so they can rebuild their third temple. And they convinced all these convert Jews to go back to Israel thinking that they're going to rebuild the third temple and whatever, which is not going to happen. Well, not in this lifetime anyway, or not in this age. Eventually they'll come back up and rebuild, I guess, but
I think it's about time for a fucking ear pierce or something. You think the man really had a 5.56 someone nip his ear like that?
They're always constantly dissing my German ancestors. But God forbid if I say anything about Jewish people, but they could shit on my people all day long. No problem. But as soon as you say anything about Jewish people, you're fucking racist. It's wild.
You're a bigot. You're anti-Semitic. You're what do I call it? There's a million different terms to throw it.
You're not wrong, Danny Skylark, the queen. It's Shekinah. The Jews worship the female aspect of supposedly God, Jehovah, whatever.
Jehovah.
She's Shekinah, or the moon rather. They worship.
It's a moon goddess. It's Lilith. Yeah, it stems from
Lilith. Yeah, it's all the same. Shekinah or whatever.
Yeah, like nowadays in Western society, you call it Lilith. It's Gaia, Mother Nature, whatever. But they're going in the involution instead of evolving and building. They're going, they're taking back. They're withdrawing back into itself, and that way you get order out of chaos, type thing. Like the breathing, it even like goes to the breath, and when you breathe in and breathe out, See?
Why isn't this picture coming up?
You see? You had to know.
I see something.
Probably shouldn't be. I'll leave it there. I gotta shut the fuck up with this place.
Yeah. What are you talking about? The fucking archons before? It's like somebody calling you an archon, or
yeah, some guy.
The archons are the jinn. The fire spirits. Basically.
He's just jealous because his arc ain't on.
His arc?
Yeah, he's mentally dead.
Oh, yeah. Well, most of humanity is. Those are Jehovah's people. The meek shall inherit the earth. The easily influenced and controlled. Those who have no internal dialogue, I guess. They just follow outside instead of inside, which is, dualistic.
It gets tricky when you're completely correct, dude. It gets real tricky when you unlock a certain thing, and then you have other people's internal dialect that you can observe easily. Then it's like, okay, you really see the fucking program. Now
they need like their God to tell them what's right and wrong. They have no morals. Most religious people have absolutely no morals. They would do whatever. If the conditions were right and supposedly a God, which stands in front of them and tells them to do something, they will. they will come after us, the non-believers, and they will kill us all, without a doubt.
Yeah, people are easily bought. You know.
Fools and tools, yeah. Parents are also authority figures, They perpetuate their own bullshit onto their children. It's like, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that, blah, blah, blah. And, I see this in my family, all these children, and I knew this from the beginning, they're all going to end up fucked up because of the narcissism of the fathers and the mothers, always thinking they're right and know everything, which is, there's nothing farther from the truth, Most people are fucking stupid beyond comprehension.
Yeah, well, it's done by design. I look at it like this, like an invasive, like malware. It's like malware or something in the code of the individual, the subconscious program that runs their reality. It's like, yeah, that can be, it's like spread through older technology, right? If you don't clear that, you keep going, you bring old hardware into new hardware, like an elder bringing on the same program the same malicious code as being programmed into the next generation of devices, that kind of thing. You should look at it like computers or something. Yeah, it's like, yeah, you put a fucking goddamn Trojan on it, Trojan horse, bro. Go in there.
These are the pictures I was trying to upload. Now, they say the giants will awaken, right? These giant beasts. And what if this bitch just started walking down over the horizon?
I doubt that's the way it's gonna be.
What movie was that? You ever seen the movie Jerusalem or something, I think it's called?
The Kingdom of Heaven?
At the end of the movie, these people went to Jerusalem for a vacation, and but basically at the end of the movie, these like demons, these people started turning into demons and shit, and the giants came back, and there was this guy named David. They thought he was nuts and crazy because he would always try to warn people, and the big giant was like that size, and he was walking by, and he goes, "We're fucked." King David. He was a crazy nut. Well, they thought he was a nut until it happened. I think the movie's name is Jerusalem, or...
There's nothing wise about giants, Dominic. They're not wise. They're fucking retarded. The only reason they have knowledge of technology and science,
but look,
gathered over thousands and millions of years, I guess. All put together into a system, an AI system that basically gives them godlike powers. But they don't.
Are you physically thinking of? Listen,
I don't know how to build a computer, and neither do they.
You want to come up, Tom? You're more than welcome. If you're not busy.
It's this. Like, you're looking at a giant. No, when someone hears a giant, they have like a million different ideas that go in their mind, like some sort of creature that happens to be taller than them, and all this whatever nonsense. Pretty much what it is this: a giant. It pretty much represents their ancestors or the program that's programmed before you. That you're getting put into, kind of like the intergenerational thing you're talking about. You ever heard that the phrase like it's built off the shoulders of giants, etc.
Yeah,
it's a fucking program, but fucking giant. When they get Bigfoot too, we got Bigfoot fucking locked in.
They used to have this monster. He was called Big Dick.
Yeah, I don't want to talk to you anyway, Dominic, because you don't know fucking nothing.
Oh, boy.
You're even worse than Cage. Let me put it that way. You just
now you've crossed the line now.
No, I don't think so.
Come on, guys.
You can't say anyone's worse than me. That's now you crossed.
Differences are what makes life. Differences to me is what makes life tolerable.
I remember the day when me and Token were laughing so hard when what's his name, Ian, he posted like this video like, oh, deep wisdom from Dominic. Oh my god, we laughed so hard. That's the day I unsubscribed from his channel, by the way, because fucking done with that bullshit. Just keep spewing, random words, and Cage, you've somehow
we're all learning
a little bit, but still got a long way to go. But Dominic, you're a lost cause, bro. You need to really look inside and
I don't know.
just,
I don't know if I agree with that.
I know. And that's why I really don't come up here anymore too much, to be honest, because sick and tired of talking to people who don't know anything and think they do. That's the worst part.
Damn.
You have to have patience.
Not necessarily talking about you, Charles, because you're actually quite knowledgeable about things. You just need to put two and two together. But that's most people, to be honest.
We're all learning here. That's how I see it.
Well, it's a fucking stage. We all gotta play along. We're all playing along, having this fucking conversation in the first place. So
what's going on here?
If you don't like how the fucking play is going, then write your own.
Fuck.
Yeah, enough with the buzzwords, Dominic.
Oh, what did I do now? Fucking thing. Come on. All right, let's see what happens here.
Real shit. I just want the best for everybody. You know what I mean?
Anyway, keep your eye on the Middle East. It's all about to go. Not that it's not bad already, but it's gonna just keep getting out of
America is gonna pay for what these politicians did to us, man, and we gotta pay for their fucking bullshit. And I think we should run up on them and just smack their ugly ass face off. That's what I think.
Yeah, they know. They know that's the solution. That's why they have all these, military police, secret military, secret police. If you were really a threat to them, you wouldn't be here anymore.
That's true. They know I'm not a threat.
Now that I think about it, like one of the worst, the most stupid things that people talk about is how they are targeted individuals. There's people on that come up here and claim the same. I'm telling you now, none of you are targeted individuals, okay? Nobody gives a fuck that you even exist. But if you antagonize the system, it's gonna come after you, and that doesn't make you a targeted individual, okay? Fuck the whole, it just bothers me so much, dude.
It's self-perpetuating.
You shouldn't let it bother you, man. Everyone's got opinions, and all.
It's not really an opinion. It's delusion. They think they're so smart and they know everything and that they're a threat to the system. There's nothing further from the truth. They couldn't care less about you. Unless you own them money, perhaps, but that's a whole different story.
If you own money, then they're to go multi-generational on you for real. There's no exiting without paying them back. The one thing it is, if you take something like that, if you owe something to something, trust me, it's coming for you.
There's literally
people. It doesn't give a fuck. I'm telling you.
Gage, there's literally people, and this is from Ian's channel, in open.
They don't forget.
Literally think that when a car drives in front of them with a broken headlight, that's the AI fucking with them and targeting them.
Well, that's delusion.
Please, dude. Please.
Yeah, you fuck around, you find out. You put the nick in
Hold
the
on.
jukebox. You're gonna do
So
the
you're
dance.
saying Ian?
It's gonna
Not
participate.
Ian,
I'm
not
gonna say,
Ian, but
I,
people who used
I
to come to
think
his channel.
he subscribed to my channel. I think he has a new name to his channel. I didn't know he
Yeah,
was back.
he doesn't want to use his main channel anymore. I guess I don't know. I'm not subscribed anymore. I don't care. But he has, I don't even want to talk about it, to be honest.
I'm not talking about anybody, but this idea that people think they're being followed. So what about this? Why don't you get adept at counter surveillance, so they'll actually be able to see if someone's really following you? They don't give a fuck unless they're really, really fucking around. You know what I mean? You're not going to fucking attract that attention. And
if anybody should be a targeted
find out
individual,
if you're being,
it should be
if you're being
me,
tracked.
but I'm not. Okay? They don't even care that I exist.
Bro,
What am I gonna do? Absolutely nothing. That's why. That's what.
Bro, when I was a young kid, what are you talking about targeted individual tracking? I'm the one who tracks this shit. I'll stick a goddamn GPS tracker under your shit and fucking see where you go. You know what I mean? I'll take that back after. When I was like a child, young, many years ago, way before all. Now it's easier. You have this shit in your pocket.
Life is like a box of Skittles.
It all tastes like shit. Or they
all the chemicals they put in there, chemicals. We're going to use red chemicals instead of using natural flavors.
What's your favorite color, though?
Red.
What flavor? Oh, red. Okay.
Yeah,
the
red is our color, though. The Roman Empire had its red color, and the Jews, they literally believe that we are red and they are blue. Have you seen that of those do attacks that like the blue cars are still there, and like somehow this fire doesn't burn blue stuff?
Yeah. That's pretty interesting.
That actually comes, if you look at CJB stuff, he actually found a reference to that where they talk
CJB.
about. I wouldn't take everything he says, for the god.
Put his link in the back chat. I want to check his channel out if you can.
Just a second.
Check out his stuff. They call me Trump. I set up a shooting and people fell for it.
Well, he's supposed to be he's gonna be the one who to invade the Middle East and supposedly save Israel, and then he's gonna pronounce himself to be God, and then the Jews are gonna basically wipe out the entire world.
What?
That's
my German brothers.
That's basically the plan.
We're gonna shove a Timberland boot up their dupa, which in Polish means their ass. Fucking kurwas. The Jewish people, some of them are kurwas.
See, this is what I mean when I talk about Dominic being, just read what he just wrote. It makes absolutely no sense. There's no basis in actual fact or reality. Fucking delusional, bro. Get some help. Do you even write this, or you just copy paste this from whatever? I don't know. Yeah, this is like typical of this new age indoctrination, darkness transmuted into enlightenment. Yeah, that's never gonna happen, bro. You fell for it.
Let's see what was written. Let me check the chat.
Jacob's ladder. That's bullshit.
The
Okay?
darkness is transmuted into enlightenment.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that makes
It
sense, right?
represents the shadows that cloud awareness and the internal struggles hindering spiritual growth. Basically saying, those anchors are anchoring you down from elevation. All the regrets and dwelling in the past is an interruption. With this perspective, confronting the devil becomes a transformative journey towards self-mastery. The devil is just a concept created to describe an ego inside of everyone. Stargate was a cool show.
One of the best, to be honest. There's so much truth in there if you know how to spot it. And it really talked, and that's an old show. They really talk about the technology of the day back then. It's all foreshadowing things to come. Yeah, see this guy. Makes me happy that you're just keep going, guy. Showing your real insight, the darkness.
This whole political circus is wild. I'm trying to understand people and why they have to have a savior. I don't understand how they say we're free. If we're so free, why are they looking to other people for to be saved?
It's running off of fear. It's running off of laziness, and I actually just call it laziness. Or maybe being misguided which is it's done very purposely, right? It's a social engineering program, but
the Canadian schooling system sure did a number on you guys. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, everyone it's brainwashing tools. Easy as fuck to brainwash people. Are you built for it? Are you ready? You said you're not ready yet. That's why it's happening. You're not ready. And then nobody's ready, really. Now it's easy to fucking deal with them. When I really don't give a...
If you're only taught to repeat things, you never really process your information. So you just, instead of, processing it and gaining some understanding from it, all you do is basically repeat what you heard. And Dominic is the perfect example of that, because that's all really he does, because he doesn't understand what he's saying. Nobody does. So you can basically, you can talk shit to me all you like. I don't really care. There is no way you can offend me.
You guys are grown fucking men. Charles, you're 40-something. Uno, you're up there fucking talking. You guys are all grown. I'm like half all your ages and shit. So? It's retarded.
Does that mean that I have
what
to
are you
accept...
getting out of it then?
Dude, does that mean I have to accept bullshit? No. I will never accept bullshit.
Call it out. That's what I'm saying. Like, argue.
Yeah.
Bro, move
and I will call it out wherever the fuck I see it, okay?
We'll see what happens. Okay, everyone has to face this shit either way eventually.
We'll you know why?
Later on.
You know why I got everything I have? I wanted? Because I stand by the truth no matter what. And I have zero tolerance for bullshit. And it's only getting worse. So you better think again.
You definitely earned that nice setup you have. You have a great setup going. That's undeniable. So you're way better off than
we could only work together.
Reason that you stand on business, and I think certain people do, but there's a lot of lapses in communication, miscommunication, all of that. And if we can't even, have like a proper discourse within ourselves,
Anyway,
this
Gage,
is
do you
what
know
we
what
lose
got us
every
into this
time.
misery?
It's perfect divide and conquer tactics.
Tolerance
Every time.
for fucking religious bullshit. Let's talk about that. Yeah, that's what got us into this mess, and that's what's gonna end us. And pretty soon, probably. I've been saying that we shouldn't tolerate religion, extremism, and all these extremist beliefs of being chosen and being, the Lord's priests and whatever. See what's happening now. When you tolerate bullshit.
You don't need to tolerate it. You can observe it.
Yeah,
it's not tolerating it. You make it very clear. You remove your consent. You make it very clear you're not tolerating it. If they want to do that, that's
like, you have to accept.
Because there's a thin line. There's a thin line from being, I'm not going to tolerate anything. Now I'm like the dictator. Now I'm dictating everything and micromanaging everything in the fucking reality. And it's my way or the highway. You know what I mean? So there's a happy medium between both those extremes. I'm saying you don't go pendulum swinging one way or the other. You know what I mean? You neutralize that. You have the middle.
When it comes to religion, that pendulum has been stuck on one side for a long time. Okay? There's no in between anymore. It's like these people are fucking insane, brainwashed, or whatever, and they're gonna be the end of us. And they want this to happen. They wouldn't. They want nothing more than Jesus to come back and destroy all the sinners and whatever.
Yeah, but what are you going to put your attention, your focus, your energy onto? Let's say, like, okay, you're fucked.
Yeah, let's just ignore it, and
In 50 minutes, have somebody over there. He's about to hit the fucking red button and nuke everybody. How are you going to react?
Just let them indoctrinate billions of people into bullshit.
How are you going to react, though? We're about
ruin
to hit
the world. No problem.
We're going to unplug reality in 15 minutes. How are you going to react? It's up to you. Either way, it can't happen. The fact that it's inaction that leads to the fucking bullshit. It's right there in front of us. I always say it's right under your nose. What's right under your nose? Right? It's thought, emotion, and action, the tria prima, the three primes in alchemy. Salt, sulfur, and mercury, if you want to call it that. So the words that we use and the things that we, the thought, emotion brought it into action through the words after. And now you're like, of course, you're correct. How could I argue? You know what I mean? So motive B, you've spelt that. The spelling is correct. You brought it in. You've said it. That's your reality. Everyone has their own bubble of reality. Remember the bubble thing?
Well, in your mind, perhaps, but that doesn't make actual reality.
Bubble burst, right? Yeah.
I don't know if you even know what you're saying, Gage.
No, I know
time,
exactly.
To be honest. No, I don't think so.
What issue do you have with
There is no living with these people. Once they get power, all the rest of us are gonna be fucked. That's pretty much it. These religious people are dangerous. That's really all there is to say about it. And people have been tolerating it for far too long.
Squeeze the fucking trigger. Watch when I come back. Watch, I'll fucking deal with them so crazy. Watch when I get my hands on them. I'm telling you.
What are you gonna do about it?
Kill me. I don't give a fuck. Go ahead and try killing me. That's fine. Go ahead and do it. Do me the favor. Watch what happens. I'm fucking karma. I show up. So, I'm saying. So, like, no matter what fucking weapon they try fucking, or whatever little bullshit they try to spew, either way, go ahead and do it. I'm indifferent to that. I'm going to come back and I'll deal with the work either way.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid of that. Go ahead. I feel bad for you. Not for you, but I'm saying I feel bad for anyone who tries to go against what's right. It's quote rights, whatever you want to call it. You know, you want to do that, go ahead. You know, you've signed up, now you're gonna have to face it after.
Yeah, fools and tools. It has nothing to do with being on a path. It's just, you know, a lack of internal reflection, mostly. You just have to think before you speak, which is apparently a big problem for most people. And I don't just think I'm right. I know I'm right. Okay, so that's the huge difference here. And you can take that however you want.
It's beyond a belief, right?
It's understanding, which leads to wisdom.
It's way beyond belief.
By the way,
your opinion. Your opinion means nothing.
Wisdom is complete understanding. But knowledge, it's just that. You know, you can keep repeating it all you want. If you don't understand it, it's not going to do anything for you. See, even my rooster agrees.
You know, man, you have your space. You have your reality carved out for you. Your bubble is well established.
What are you talking about? We all live in the same reality, Cage. Just because you believe the reality to be different doesn't make it so.
No, it's the same.
We're not in the world of fucking light. We're in fucking darkness, where the world you live in dictates your reality. And the opposite world, the world of light, it's the opposite. You know, you dictate your reality. We're not there, though.
We can't have one without the other, right?
Right.
But you can. Not everybody's living in the same bubble of perception you are. You know what I mean? I could be light, darkness.
Yeah,
What about
sure. Perception, yeah, but that's not. Perception isn't necessarily reality, you know. Because you don't. If you look at something and you don't understand it, how you perceive it, sure, but you don't really know what it is, though.
Well, that's the basis of all thought, really.
But when you have an understanding of dualism, you do understand what it's all about and how it, Sick of explaining this shit, dude.
I know, it's redundant eventually. You might as well bang your fucking head off the wall, because that's what they do. They fucking test you. They fuck with you in that manner where, bro, you can like spoon feed it. You can like try force feeding it down somebody's mouth. It's never gonna happen. You know. That's it.
I barely talk at all. You know, when I'm alone at home, I just talk to my cats. That's all.
That's the best way.
I'm not a talkative person, to be honest. It's just only when I come up here.
Same. I'm a pretty silent person too.
I don't
talk to people in real life because they couldn't handle what the fuck I have to say anyway. So, and they can pound sand. I don't really care. They just leave me the fuck alone.
Yeah, never heard that. Exactly. Leave me the fuck alone. Forget the fuck. Like
pound sand.
Because in person is different. Now you're bringing in. Now it's way too close to the source and shit. So,
we live in a reality run by psychopaths, yeah, narcissists. Really, they always, this is like typical Jewish. They always like project their evil onto others. They're the light, and we're supposedly the darkness. That's what narcissists always do.
I want to say I'm a narcissist there. I'm a complete
narcissistic. I'm not talking about you, dude.
Psychopath, I guarantee you.
We're all a little narcissistic, but there's levels of it.
Yeah. I'm saying more like, yeah, you can. Cage is probably a psychopath, sociopath, fucking. Like I'm. which is fine. You know, I think that's it. You have to be like that in order to fucking and navigate in this reality. And Malkuth,
Here, let me bring something up. Jared Jaguar, I know you probably remember that guy. He had an interesting quote from, I think it's the Emerald Tablets of Thoth or something. Let me find it.
or meditation.
He knows, he understands, but he, by his own words, admits that he's just getting the hang of it. But that's fine. We all have our own, you know. There is a path. Sure, there is a
Well,
path.
it's like thinking you're a master. When you think you're a master, you put a limitation on yourself.
Where the fuck is
You know,
it? Why can't I find this? Anyway, it just talks about like how from time to time these, you know, archons, I guess, they come up from out of the depths, and it talks about how they're infinite, you know, they're infinite beings. You know, they exist as soil and spirit alone. Not like us, we're finite beings. We're like in the middle world. They come up and then, you know, they're like the shining ones, but it's not really shining, it's fire, you know.
Your body is finite, but the energy or the, you know, the elements that are being put into that, the quintessence of observation,
Just
that
like
it goes beyond finite human should, you know. As I say, it's from the beings that fell from the higher realms to the lower type thing came and created us, you know? Allegorically. So higher.
Here it is. There in the halls of life, filled with their wisdom, known not to the races of man, living forever neath the cold fire of life. See what I mean? Sit the children of light. Yeah, right. The children of fire. Times there are when they awaken, come from the depths to be light, to be fire among men, infinite they among finite men. He who by progress has grown from the darkness, limited himself from the night into light, free is he made of the halls of Amenti, the flower of light and of life, guided by then, by wisdom and knowledge, passes from men to the master of life. He knew, this guy, clearly he was offered entry into the world of light, but he decided not to, and he even talks about being a guide for his own people.
I thought you'd see that quote, Una. Remember I used the word finite too myself and rewind it, and all of a sudden.
Just these two paragraphs of this book tells so much of what is going on, you know?
Yeah, it's all right there. No matter how many times you play it and show it to people, they still.
And even the Bible talks about this when it says, when Paul, he actually was influenced by these beings, and he actually had experiences in the wilderness with them. And he even says that for no marvel, even Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light. And he actually knew what he was talking about when he said that, which is not what's the word? He's usually not right. You know, it's all a bunch of bullshit from Paul, but you know, in the end, he did.
Paul enslaved?
No, not that guy.
The
Pharisee Saul, who wrote basically the entire New
from
Testament.
the Bible, you know, Apostle Paul. Come on, bro.
You know what this reminds me of, this picture? If you flipped it upward and the sixth realm was above, it looks just like this. To me, at least. Watch. If you took this and flipped it around, it'd be damn near the same, except no arms. It's the only difference.
Look, I don't call myself a hermit. I don't use human fucking concepts and
The state of nirvana.
It comes from chemics, right?
labels.
The whole,
That's the word I
the
was
whole
looking
alchemy. It's a label, but the hermit, it really means, like, for example, when you're creating something, you create it in a hermetically sealed environment. Like your phone that you're using right now, your laptop, the electronics you're using. It was always created within a hermetically sealed environment. So nothing can go in or out unless, prompted in a certain way. So it kind of has to do with the mind also. So it's like not allowing anything in unless, it goes through the right protocols or the right transmutation, you know what I mean? Understand the parts of it, and you utilize it, bring it back into form. But you're not just going to allow things coming in. There's no dust. There's no shit flying in the air randomly going in. It's hermetically sealed.
What's the difference
As we all know what
between
hermetic means. Okay.
the celestial sun and the terrestrial sun?
Yeah, the
That
fire,
makes-
the fire of Zion. That's what they're talking. They always talk about like it's the burning bush. It was a fire, but it didn't burn anything.
Sounds like the burning bush had gonorrhea.
I know you read like all these books about what's his name,
Manly P. Hall.
Manly P. Hall, and there's plenty of stuff about fire.
Remember what was it? The flames of.
But fire isn't light. It just produces light.
Right? Yeah.
It produces light
Yeah,
by
the
transmutation.
the gases interacting is what creates the fire.
Yeah.
So
heat,
it's all
the heat
alchemy.
actually
Man.
releases the gases, which then ignite. But once it's ignited, it just keeps burning this gas.
Well, then you got heat or cold.
It's really consumption.
Remember what they said. You just played it. The cold fire, right?
Consumption, which is the hallmark of fucking the dark moon, dude.
Keyword. Remember the key fire. You're like, right. You didn't even acknowledge it when it said it. And that's what's relating back to this even conversation right now. So it's different degrees of the same thing. What would you like? You want cold or fire? It's the same fucking thing.
You're talking about heat and cold. Like, where does it begin? Nobody knows. It's all. Everybody, when you say everybody has its own reality, we perceive reality differently depending on how what we believe.
That's what I mean.
But that doesn't necessarily make it true,
No, but
just saying like, oh, you have the right to have your own fucking reality. Like, shut the fuck up, please. This is what got us into this mess to begin with. Tolerance.
You have to pull your own weight and you got to leave it better than when you came into it. Everyone did that, pulled their own weight. There's no fucking issue. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You need to.
What's all the chaotic disagreements here?
Chaotic disagreements? What?
No, I said chaotic disagreements.
Yeah, chaotic disagreements. What about?
You thought I said Celtic?
No, I just mispronounced it. No, I don't know what you mean, like chaotic.
See, I'm just glad like Dom or Cage aren't, taking your disagreements to the heart. Like, I used to let stuff bother me like that. Sometimes once in a while it still does.
How does that bother you? Because you think you don't want to hear something doesn't mean it's not true or there's not something you can utilize.
Sometimes it's the way people say
I'm not even talking about that, dude.
People will say stuff disrespectful, like they're trying to purposely press buttons. But
over each other. My bad, Charles.
But having disagreements or more or less seeing something different, I like it because I get to see.
I don't do this to be mean.
That's how you learn. You have to.
Look, I don't want to be a dick. I don't want to be an asshole. I don't want to call out bullshit. I just have to. That's all. And maybe if you would listen,
it's your duty,
and look at yourself, and maybe think a little bit more before you say something, you'll figure out that that was probably right. That maybe you didn't know what you were talking about, and that basically applied to me in the past as well, because I was like that
You can't
too.
be right without being wrong, though. Again, it goes back to causation, or every truth is a half lie, every lie is a half truth.
Well, in this world, it probably is.
Rhythm compensates.
Fools and Tools said, but the information we're people to receive, they don't apply in everyday life, is a waste.
Yeah.
I try to apply everything I speak. There is a time where I would give advice, but I wouldn't even fucking apply it in my own life. And then I seen myself as a super hypocrite.
Now you're going to get tested to the utmost extreme after that.
Oops,
you're
wrong.
Trials and tribulation. It's a law of use. It's like this knowledge or knowing how this shit works. It's like hoarding precious metals, right? Until your death. Like, okay, I have a whole room
stop
with
fucking
gold.
parroting the Kybalion.
Look what that would
I know. I know all these things, and all these books, and I've read the Kybalion probably like 100 times. I know. When I hear you say that, I know it's just you're basically regurgitating exactly to the word what's said in the book. That's exactly what I'm talking about,
That's how the programs ran, through repetition.
That tells me that you haven't, processed all this information, and you're still trying to, which is okay. I'm not saying that, everybody you're just gonna, instantly get it. No,
that's the beginning of it, though, right?
I'm just saying, just think a little before you speak.
What's finite mean?
I do have
darkness.
To get better at that. About
darkness.
That. I can't disagree with that. I do have to. I've even had multiple people tell me, like, you have all these ideas and that. Like, write them down.
How many times have people told you to shut the fuck up, Gage?
Oh no.
Infinite amounts of time.
See what I'm talking about?
Infinite amounts of time. It's not gonna happen, though. You can't, bro.
It's not about that you're not allowed to say anything.
You tell someone to shut the fuck up, and they're not a pussy, they're gonna keep going.
You just bring up useless information whenever you can. Which is, everybody already knows all this stuff, most of the time, and it gets annoying.
I don't think most people know.
Even Ian told you to shut the fuck up, and he never told anybody to shut the fuck up. he even let, what's his name? Maybe Singularity, after like months and months of talking the same, nonsense. To be honest,
I'm good at what I do.
Love you, Singularity, but come on, guy, come on.
You know what I seen yesterday, or this morning, or yesterday? A video of a parasite that went inside a dead bug. The bug was gutted. It had its brain obviously was still there. It said, I don't know how true this is, but the fucking bug was walking. Even though its back leg was broke. But that's alarming, bro. That's alarming. Because if they can do that to a human, oh man, bro. That's going to be the Walking Dead. If they invented a parasite, or more or less maybe enhanced a parasite that already could do that, they're using that as a weapon maybe. I can see them doing it.
That's the whole fucking, people are zombies already. They have invented a mind parasite. You know what I mean? Or it might be in like the stomach or something. Remember in the Matrix, they had to grab them, they have to take the fucking machine parasite off the fucking belly button with the umbilical cord in it.
Yeah, and that movie with Schwarzenegger when he had it up the nose, remember?
Yeah, it's always the machine's injected into you. It's a fucking machine, and you're oiling the cog, you're fucking dealing with the gear, you're a part of the gear. You know? Participating in it, we're all participating in it, even if we're not saying you're, you know,
Create the
you can
wave.
ignore it, but
Light,
you can't get away.
yeah, light is a wave. Where basically everything is light, you know, and water is and soil are, in essence, just converted, transmuted light. You know, they're the same but different in degree. You know, they're the opposites of each other.
No, you're comparing. Sorry,
Soil,
the
you know, the
catalog.
earth is not flat. It's a wave. You know, it goes up and down, the same as water does. You know, it's not exactly flat, but you know, there is a little wave in there. It's in everything. You know, this frequency.
It's the same but different in degree. That's a great one to, you know, keep reinforcing it. I'll keep saying it until fucking I can't. So.
I saw some.
That's all I gotta say. It's all
I saw
praises
some
due to
news.
Allah.
I saw some news about the Middle East. And there's supposed to be like
They dropped the American dollar.
They're gonna invade. What is it, Lebanon maybe or something? I don't know. Trying to
I don't know.
remember what I found this.
All this is happening because of I don't know
Because
why.
of religion. Because of religion. Because
Fuck
of
religion.
religious indoctrination from, you know, the Archons or whatever you want to call it, the Anunnaki or whatever.
Let me not say fuck religion. I just want to say fuck
know,
the ignorant people.
Yeah. The Christian
need to
concept
wake
of
up.
the rapture or the division, it works both ways. It's not just the world of light that's coming for its you know, its children. Satan himself is also coming for his children, aka the Christians and the fucking Catholics and whatever. Yeah, that's just the way it is, and it's not by coincidence that we have all this technology right now, so we're able to talk to each other, even though we're on the complete opposite of the world. It's all to spread this religion, because you know, it doesn't matter for us because we're gonna be gone anyway. But those that remain, they need something outside of themselves to follow. You know, it's Jesus, it's Jehovah, it's Buddha, it's whatever. Don't wait for somebody to save you. Save yourself. That's basically what I'm trying to say.
Yes.
Again, but it always goes back to this fucking dichotomy. Why would I need it to be saved or need to save?
You don't need. That's what I'm saying. You don't need to be saved.
What the fuck? You put yourself into that in the first place just by thinking to be saved. That implies that you need the opposite.
Some people build prisons though, Cage, within themselves. They have to tear them down, save themselves.
Our Father doesn't need.
You have nothing to save yourself from if you're not trapped. And the trap is even like considering it. The fuck? I'm not gonna be.
We don't need to be, in essence, Cage. We don't need to be saved here because we can leave anytime we want. As beings of light, you can leave whenever you want. But
that's hard.
You have. It's very hard because you have attachment to whatever, be it animals, family, friends,
I'm gonna get rid of
a
all
car, a house, whatever, and you're gonna want to come back because you don't. If you don't you don't know about the world of light, you're not gonna want to go there. You know, if you think the prison is the only thing that exists, you're not gonna want to leave the prison.
All right. Well, I'll try getting rid of all the attachments, but please allow me my.
Try. It's almost impossible.
But please allow. Like I'm just gonna have.
No way, it's possible.
May I have? Am I allowed? If I'm allowed, right? I'm not saying if I do. I'd love to have like a firearm with the attachments on that, like put like a nice optic on it, a nice red dot or something. And then I can have attachments on my firearm instead of
I want a fucking direct energy weapon.
Wait, let me
A
say
mini size one.
So Dominic doesn't agree, apparently. He says that saving yourself is a bad idea, and that's a program, that's brainwashing or whatever. Okay.
Well, in a way, he's right because
Everything's brainwashing.
And by saving,
Anything
it
you
doesn't,
say,
that's just
people will
word.
counter it.
You just be conscious of your own, actions and thoughts instead of just relying on, outside stimuli and emotions and whatever. Just to let
So that's the case. Everything is an upload. Is this parasite? Everything we've been taught is all. So that means it all has to be erased and start over.
Parasites. The parasite tries to make you discard your center. Makes you try to discard your fucking, your foundation, that making the disillusion where everything's an illusion. You're in disillusion. It's a solution.
We're all parasites here, Gage. We all consume something that isn't ours.
I was talking about that
to
earlier.
prolong our own life.
Even if you just breathe the air, you're still consuming microbes and all that.
That's the essence of fire. Basically, is consumption.
Yeah,
to take something that isn't yours and use that to your own advantage.
Yeah, we're pretty much
the
a virus,
basis of reality here, and there is a world that is the opposite of that.
Yeah, in a way, most of the fucking population, are pretty much, human beings in general are fucking virus in a way.
Yeah, golden that's a reference to the sun, which doesn't talk. That's why silence is golden. It doesn't. It wants you to save yourself. It'll show you stuff, but it'll never talk to you. If something talks to you, no, it's not. It's not the Father. Think about that word consumption. It's inherent in life in this place. It's like we're basically we're dead. These bodies are already dead. We're just prolonging the life of it by taking from other beings who do exactly the same thing. It's just the way it is.
Yeah, but plants and nature act the exact same way, right?
Right, that's what I'm saying. That's just nature in this place. This is the nature of reality.
I want to say it's not fucking evil or like some shit.
No,
it's called nature. That's it.
What is evil? It's darkness, sure, but
evil. It's like a balance. You spell it backwards, right? Live. L-I-V.
Well, you're right about that, Dominic. That air needs a container. See, I'm not an asshole. I'm not gonna bash you with everything. If you say something that makes sense, it makes sense. But most of the time, bro,
Yeah, I hear.
there is a lot of truth in Buddhist philosophy. Not gonna lie, but all these things, it's like a handful of truth and 999 handfuls of lies usually, especially the Bible. But there is some truth in there, more so in Buddhist teachings. But it's been, what's the word? Taken over, whatever. That's old school stuff. It's been.
How much does the Bible go for? how much does the bull go for in the Bible?
The what?
The bull in the Bible. How much are we talking here to buy it?
The bull? What is he talking about?
In the Bible, you have to buy the bull.
Ah, the Bible, yeah.
I'm saying, how much is the bull going for nowadays? You know, I think I need a new one to repopulate.
Well, B means two, which is dual, you know, B.
It's the buy ball.
The dual bull. I guess, yeah, I don't know. Never really looked into it like that.
All right, here's this insect right here. Check this out. How real this is, I have no clue, but that thing's gutted. This is a different one. I couldn't find the original, but there's a parasite in there. And it's got one leg. It says, "We're out of here, buddy. I got my new carcass."
It's not
I'm taking my carcass
it's
for a ride.
mycelium. It's fungi. that take control.
He said, "Hey guys, I got my new carcass fresh off the lot."
Yeah, it's not a parasite, Charles. It's a mycelium.
No.
Oh, that's, yeah, I guess that's a parasitic entity as well, you know.
And then we got these being walked around now.
Oh, that same fucking Boston robotics shit. Been around.
Yeah, that's for the scum of the earth. After they're gone, they're prepared. Then, you know, imagine the world without the actual good in it. You know, there's very little. There's not that much of it, to be honest. But
Bro, yeah, there
imagine
is.
it actually
There is.
leaving.
Don't let them, yeah, there is. They can't get rid of it. If they could, they would have a long time ago.
Why do you think they're starting all these wars? They're just
There
killing
is-
off
there
all
is-
the
you
fighting
can't-
people.
It's impossible to get rid of the other counterbalance, the other effect. You can never get rid of it. You know what I
No, but
mean?
you
It's always
can
gonna be there.
separate it. You can separate the egg from
You
the
can try
yolk.
manipulating it, but it'll come back every time. Though. You know, it keeps popping up.
Yeah, that's what they think. They think they're gonna undo division. Like the most absurd thing ever. It's like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, they think they're fucking playing God and shit, but they're pussies. Watch what happens when it comes.
Yeah,
They
that's
think
their, that's
they
their
think they're a
ultimate goal.
mathematician, like they're gonna stop division.
Yeah.
So this is saying Satan, you see, wasn't crucified, so why would he need a cross? That tattoo, panda, blah blah blah. But look, religions are gangs that oppose each other. They throw up gang signs. You know,
Yeah.
no different. They have their lodges and their secret meetings and politics, religion, gangs. It's all one. Same concept. Police, military, units, gangs, organizations, whatever label, brotherhood.
It's an extortion racket, you know. Basically, they threaten you with something that doesn't, you know, that's not real, and then they provide the solution. You know, problem, solution.
Problem, reaction, solution.
Yeah, but you know, the reaction you
I
can
said,
leave, to be honest.
they create the problem, then deliver the solution. Profit off both ends while we fall for the illusion. And that's what happened the other day when when Mike Tyson jumped out of the crowd and bit his ear. Crikey, mate. This bugger hit my ear.
Yeah, it's
Now, what do you think?
It's Hegel-based philosophy.
It probably has significance, but I'm not sure, to be honest. I haven't seen anything. I saw that they made like you know, the Van Gogh painting where he has like his ear.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah,
definitely
that's
gonna
like
cut
they
your
made like a
fucking ear
Trump
off.
version of that, but for the rest, didn't see
Maybe he
anything.
cut his own ear off though. But listen,
That's what people were saying. They said he sacrificed his
it's
right
a
ear.
thesis and antithesis, whatever thesis. You know, it's Hegelian dialectic or dialect, whatever the fuck you call.
He was supposed to sacrifice his right eye, but instead he gave his right ear. Because you know Odin, who else gave the right eye? Wasn't it Odin?
Yeah.
I thought Satan did it too, but I don't think so. I think it was Odin. Shit, there's a few others.
Yeah, and you know, like they have that term moving left, right? So what your right eye is on, you're no longer seeing properly. The optics are changing.
Yeah, he gave his right
Now you're
eye.
moving left, you're not moving right. How can they use like right as a direction as like right as that's right or wrong or whatever? And
He gave his outer sight
Yeah, but
to
that's
elevate his inner sight.
if you look at right without looking at the actual word of it, it's still gonna be. You got a left side and you got a right side. It doesn't matter what you call it. You still have two sides basically. Just because the world we live in made it that way, that it's right is right. That doesn't make it true. I don't know what eye Odin gave. Was it his left eye that he gave up, or his right eye?
He's right. That's why I said he gave half of his outer sight to elevate his inner sight. His knowledge and wisdom will elevate your mind.
You can say up is down and down is up. You can change the words. It doesn't change reality though. No words.
Well,
words have power, but only to an extent.
You could change it if you allow it to. If something is said and you play it out, and that's how they're gonna get people with revelations. They're gonna play it out like a play, like they always do, and people are gonna fall right for it because they're already hypnotized by a lot of these books. They get me every now and then with a commercial or something.
Well, billions of peoples are going to descend into the underworld.
Hail Odin.
No, what to a Menti?
No, just to the division. It happens in trees. That's what V talked about. He says it always happens in trees, and the world we exist in is just gonna end, and it's gonna create a new world.
Oh yeah, like
the light beings are gonna go up, the dark beings are gonna go down. But we're talking about billions and billions of people here. We don't. What's the?
Let me ask you a question.
That's an old ancient thing that like witchcraft even uses, and I mean I'm not sure witchcraft. I mean it's another play on fucking words.
Whatever.
But yeah, them people they think that it's called the law of three, the principle of three, or whatever the fuck they call it.
Probably half of the world believes in fucking these religious books and nonsense and follows it in some way, and like I've unfollowed so many people recently. Like the second I hear the fucking word Jesus, I'm fucking gone, dude. I don't need to hear how pathetic and sad you are, and how you need something outside of yourself to have morals and actually, not kill yourself. I guess I don't know. It's sad, dude.
Yeah, like I could look like that's how you can really, really shut yourself off. You know what I mean? You're paying everybody like that. Like, yeah, if the old me, I never even went on the internet ever. No, none of that shit. I was always, but it's another form of fucking control either way, or like another fucking bubble.
Sure.
Put into.
I actually stopped using the internet the way I excessively the way I always do. For a couple years because I was so sick of it, and literally that was the best time of my life. I'm not gonna lie.
Only reason why I went on there, I never even had internet. I had internet on the phone for certain things or whatever, but I never even had like a Wi-Fi connection or anything for years. Pretty much the entire time until, you know, the 2019 fucking nonsense and shit. Now I want to go and see what game was being ran on other people. Where's the best way to connect to people I normally not speak to. You know what I mean? So
Lucid got a question for you.
But it's like what you were saying before, how they're trying to fucking transmit a message. You know what I mean? Maybe that's the way it works, you know, with humans and shit.
Lucid said, how many sides does a ball have?
It has a face.
And my question is, if our shadow is 2 dimensions and it's coming from us, a 3rd dimension being, are we a shadow of a 4th dimension being?
I'm saying
Possibly.
If
I don't know about this 4th dimension stuff. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know. It's, I guess, another level of perception or something, or awareness. I don't know. Quite possibly this exists. I don't know. Clearly, a higher level of understanding exists in the light. Is that 4th dimension? I don't know. It's just labels and words.
We got people saying, we got agnostic principles saying Jesus.
Yeah, Jesus is the scapegoat. Yeah.
And then we got Dominic saying a kinky scapegoat. APLOL. Okay.
They tie like the ribbon around the goats, but that was before Jesus, you know, and then they send it into the wilderness, and then Satan supposedly is confused and he forgets the sins of the Jews and he puts them all on the Gentiles or on Edom. And then they created like this sacrificial lamb, you know, in personified as Jesus, who basically absolves from their sins.
Was a fucking pimp, a master carpenter, an alchemist, a priest, a sheep herder, a fucking murderer.
If you believe the Bible, yeah. That's all Paul's bullshit, dude. You just literally you can ignore 99% of it.
They said when he was being beaten, he didn't even make a sound. He didn't complain. All he kept saying was telling God to forgive them. They don't know what they're doing. Now, I don't know if I believe that. The way they make it look like he was beaten, come on.
Where does it say that?
I seen it in some video. I'm not saying it's factual, but that's what they were saying.
According to Jewish religious texts, he was stoned to death, and then they basically killed him with a sword and then hung him on like a tree to display him with a crown of thorns, to tell them, do not fuck with the Jewish God, or this is going to be the result. You know, it's like we don't want to go stories. We don't care. You know, we don't care about heaven, really. This world is their heaven. You know, if you come from below, this is heaven. You know. Anyway,
what's the purpose of the Bible?
Is to
what's the main purpose?
Book of the Dead. It's similar as the book, the Tibetan Book of the Dead, and is to lead people into the underworld. To lead people to Jehovah, the Lord of darkness.
Yeah, give them all your attention and all your power, all your energy.
If you wanna piss them off for real, all you gotta say is Jabulan. Jabulan and Jabulan, Jabulan.
Ja is
Jabulan.
Even
I'll do it 5 times. There you go. Beautiful.
Yeah, it's all the same, you know.
Tom said 4th dimension is time. I didn't even think of that. That's what they say, I think. 4th dimension's time.
Sure, yeah. I guess.
Well, what's time? Time's just a measurement.
Heavenly hell, yeah. Exactly. Yeah, because it was way better than where they came from, you know. But
All right, so we all
they
know
didn't really like the
right?
sun, so it was they didn't understand, you know, the light shineth in darkness, and the darkness doesn't understand.
How many sun god messengers
Yes.
were there, right? Jesus, Hermes, Mercury, I think.
The
Could
same
be
guy.
wrong.
You know, a
Well,
lot of the stuff that's
Tahuti, Thoth, it's the same
yeah,
thing.
a lot of stuff that people say was Jesus was actually,
no, wait,
I
Satan
think,
was
was
the
Hermes
other
or
god. My bad.
Thoth, because he
Lucifer.
supposedly came back 3 times in the flesh to as a teacher. Yeah, Hermes predated, but you know, these divisions, it's not a one-time occurrence. It happens
Well,
all
Hermes is
the time.
Tahuti or Thoth.
It's a cycle,
And
you know.
yeah, that's like Hermes is the Greek interpretation of it.
Yeah.
They just changed
Yeah,
up the
there is that
fucking.
saying indeed, like some people's heaven is some people's hell is some people's heaven or whatever. It's all about perception, you know. If you don't have, you know, if you don't have a problem with consumption, which is the nature of darkness, to be honest, it's like the sun and the moon. You know, the moon, it attracts and consumes, absorbs light and heat, which is the female. It's the female aspect of creation, in us, and then that
Yes.
doesn't mean that being female is bad. You know,
No, like
it's
you can look at
it's
it
all
as like a
more.
cathode. It's actually the opposite of negative, right? Look at male or Luna.
You as an individual, that's what I'm trying to say. Is you as an
being
individual are
negative,
not bound by these extremes. You know, you don't have to. Just because you've been born in a female body doesn't mean that you have to. You know, I don't know how to explain it, to be honest. Whatever.
Well, it goes beyond that, right? Like there's
Right.
there's certain people that really like the gender. You can look at the law of gender in you know people's actual fucking gender, but it goes way beyond that. It's more of a mental creation. I mean, like think about it like an electrical circuit.
Well,
You're
the
not
positive
creating.
and then when you look at a battery, the two are also separate. You know, the positive and the negative.
Yeah, the anode and the cathode. The cathode would be
This is basically the nature of reality. You know,
negative pole.
the positive energy goes to the top, and the negative energy it settles down on the bottom, and it
Remember
becomes
that idea
it becomes more dense. You know, it's literally you could see in a battery the way reality works and
we
how
got
the
Charles making a
division
new album.
is
Apparently, he came up
achieved.
with a name earlier. It's called Esoteric Polarity. You
Yeah,
said
polarity. Yeah.
yeah. Before you got on here, you said Esoteric Polarity. I'm like, what was that from? What you were reading? He's like, no. I'm like, oh, you should make that you know, an album name or something. So now we got Esoteric Polarity coming soon. You know,
Polarity is the basis of reality.
there you go. And yeah, it's a basis of pretty much everything.
And depending on where you stand, left is right or right is left. You know, or these dark beings, they actually
that's where
literally believe the opposite of
that's
light
where all
beings.
archetypes and all thought forms stem from the law of polarity, either having it or not. So the fact that you can even have anything put into creation means by nature it has to have that. You know what I mean? You can even call it dichotomy. You know, there's always that fucking paradox, that dichotomy within everything. You can't have one without the other. You know? So you can't even have observation without being completely on the shelf at the same time.
Don't bother, fools and tools. Don't bother helping people who don't want to be helped. First, you got to know you got a problem to fix it. And most people are just, you know, they're too busy to even. And this is by design, by the way. You know, and it's not. you can't really blame people, to be honest.
It's not their
Because
fucking
this
fault.
world is so designed to just give you absolutely no time for yourself and just basically focus on
It's
survival.
not their fault,
That's
bro.
all.
They're bred, bro. Not everybody's like you, right? Like, you know, you're lucky.
And it doesn't matter. People who are not actively looking for the truth, just don't bother with them. You know, it's pointless.
All right, but what about like family and that?
Fuck them, dude. If they don't want to listen, it doesn't
No, but
matter. In the end, it doesn't
like, I don't know,
matter.
for me, I can't just say fuck family. I don't care if they don't want to listen or that's not my. I'm still gonna fucking, you know, do.
You know what
deal
you're
with
gonna
that
do? You're
shit
gonna
that I have
achieve
to
the
do.
exact opposite.
I'm
Because
not trying to achieve anything.
Yeah, you're trying
It's already
to
done.
convince them, supposedly.
The fact, people that try achieving things, look, it goes back. It's always like a mind fuck. The fact that you're even trying to achieve something automatically implies that you know, some sort of a lack. Like you know, you haven't done something yet, and now I'm gonna try to do something. That's not how shit works. It's either happening or not. As I'm trying to do it, it's happening either way. You know?
Yeah, you can't change the world, fools and tools.
It's
It's
just
What?
a trap.
It's too
What
big.
are all these symbols here?
It's too
Oh,
big, and
I
there's
forget it. I see.
constantly people working against you to achieve the exact opposite of what you're trying to achieve. So what's the point of all this? It's like this resistance, basically, which it becomes assistance, really. You know, the more you fight it, the more you really help them in this world. It's like if you complain, they have a reason to come after you. You know, it's like when you protest, they say they have a reason to give you to hire more police officers or something. You know, they always use your resistance against you.
Well, that's just like martial arts, right? You don't.
Yeah.
You don't fucking oppose a force with another force. Every time you do that, you're gonna lose either way because they're using natural law. They're using the laws of the construct of the matrix, whatever you like to call it, one against the other. You cannot break the law, but you can do shit like that, which will seem like it's breaking the law, somehow unfair. But it's through the folly of one's own ignorance and shit. Understand how this shit works. You don't fucking oppose a force with another force. You know what I mean? It's energy either way. You utilize it in the correct manner, right? Like this is the whole idea of like, you know, the water principle. And like even physically,
My favorite alchemy picture ever, man.
You could literally fuck up giants and shit. They could be like a 7 foot, like 400-pound motherfucker. If you have some sort of training and understand these principles, you could be like half the size less or something. You'll still, it's not even a competition at all. You know what I mean,
It really depicts like the two worlds. You know, you got the world of light at the top, you got the division line, and then you got basically the world we live in on the bottom. But it's only missing the third part. The underworld isn't represented, I guess.
am I living in the world, your world, or my world?
Ventorium annus solaris. What is Ventorium? What does that mean?
It's like a fancy.
Annus
It means an illusion.
Ventorium.
It means being fanatic, you know, being so absorbed into a certain way of being and looking at things in a lens that's almost like a phanagoric.
Interesting that they're like chained. The male and female are like chained. The female is depicted as the moon, and the male is depicted as the sun.
Mm-hmm. That's a phanagoric. Pretty much, it's showing you the construct. You see the left, of course. They have to invert it on this picture, right? Usually the left would. Oh, actually, I'm looking at it again now. My shirt is glitching. I guess I was looking at it upside down. The left is the logic center. Or the left.
There's actually two
the
worlds, but one world is
sun.
just divided into two pieces.
So
You got
the sun on the left.
the surface
and the moon
world
on the right.
where we exist, but you got, you know, the
The
beneath the
conscious
soil.
soul and the subconscious.
No, that's not what I'm talking about.
The
The shit we don't even know about, you know, what's below us. There's an entire
Well, I know what you're alluding to.
there's more space there than you know, God knows how much space there is there, you know, how many civilizations exists in infinite, you know, there's infinite worlds, you know.
You ever look up the abbreviation vitriol? I have it on my YouTube channel in Latin. Vitriol, it's an alchemical thing.
I don't know what that word means. Vitriol. Is that not like invigorate, kind of like invigorated or something?
It's a word people use, but it comes from an alchemical process that is really talked about too often. And pretty much it translates to it's Latin words, right? Like an abbreviation meaning
bitterly abusive feeling or expression.
Letters. So it says vitriol if you take the capital letters out of it. It's like a vista interior replicando lapidum, whatever. Pretty much what it means is visit the interior of the earth, and through purification, you'll find the hidden stone.
Yeah, but vitriol also refers to any of various sulfates of metals, such as ferrous sulfate, zinc sulfate, or copper sulfate, which is all comes from.
Yes, and you can even be like someone's moving vitrolic, meaning you have some sort of hate, like some sort of like
bitterly abusive feeling or expression. That's what it means.
Yeah, it's like you're trying to like fuck with, like you have the vitriol on it. But it's beyond that. It means visit the interior of the earth.
That's basically describes my feeling for religion.
Yeah, you're vitrolic with it, right? So that's a part of the alchemical process.
I'll take that label. If there was ever a label that I would want, it would be Antichrist, though. I don't mind if you call me that.
I'm gonna call you vitrolic and vindicated. There you go. Vitrolically vindicated.
Don was saying, hold on. He said the yin and yang game, right? The duality, the polarity. It only works if people pick a side and don't realize they're both in everything. There's no side to pick here at all.
Most of the living beings are gonna choose a side. You know, you are who you are. And it's not really about choice, to be honest. It's just you are who you are, and you just end up where you belong. There's really nothing more to it than that. If you are more of a dualistic being, you can stay in this place. You know, the earth will continue somewhere else. A new reality will be created for 1/3 who hasn't made up their mind. You know, there's always an in-between, the middle line, which is a huge part of Buddhism also, you know, the middle path.
I'm going to create my own language. I'm going to use sound like they did, like the tribes in the jungles.
So somebody's asking for the link in the chat.
Who's that? Oh, True Song.
I don't know who that is.
That's True Song.
I don't think we talked before. So. I don't have much time though. I got work to do.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump off myself in like 20 minutes. Yeah, it's 10:30. Red and blue pill. I'll take all the pills.
Yeah. All this red blue pill, red and blue thing. That's all like, you know, this Jewish thing about this.
Yeah, they took the sword.
Where the red ones, right? You know, they're the blue ones, and
just like they took the sword and created polarity, they took purple and made the, you know,
Well,
we'll say the purple is the
hold a great
source. They
significance.
split it into two with their
And
games. They like
I'm
to
well
do.
aware that I have a red avatar, which at the time I wasn't aware of what the meaning of that was, to be honest. But it's just it tells
Nowadays, in
you.
modern time, you know, they call it neuro-linguistic programming, and color is definitely a factor in that. You know what I mean? Even trying to brand something or trying to put these, it's all axioms, maxims, and precepts. Right? Everything's based off this language
Yeah,
model
well,
and shit.
how about all the other colors? How about green? What's green then? If red and blue is left and right, then what is green? And what are there are
Green
so
is go.
many million gazillion colors in between.
Green
It's
is
like,
money. Green is weed.
yeah, weed.
What is green? Right?
What's up, everybody? What's good? What's good?
What's good, True Zone?
Yeah.
They created all these labels for us.
Yeah.
I just feel like I'm seeing through their eyes, man, because they created this whole reality for us. So I'm not even looking through my own eyes.
If you ever saw one of Vindicated's videos, that's really basically all he talks about. It's like labels and it's a this and a that, and people are like, oh, I'm a cop and a robber, and I'm a police officer, and I'm this, and I'm enough with the fucking LARPing, please. It's like I'm a teacher. You know, all these fucking teachers in these schools, are they really teachers? No, they're just parrots. They just indoctrinate people with knowledge from books that they don't even understand half of the time, or even more than half of the time, to be honest. I know a lot of teachers, they're pretty stupid, to be honest. None of them
America has a lot of stupid teachers. The schooling in America, every country laughs at us. And I see why now.
All education is pushed. All education is indoctrination. You know, it's passed off as education, but it's really indoctrination.
Yeah, but now we're throwing
Once
the
you get to the
baby out with the
bottom of it.
bathwater. You got to be careful from that too. That's just because it's taught in. First of all, not all teachers are terrible and evil, and that some of them understand the fucking programs.
We're not even saying that, Cage. We're just saying that
it's like this. The only way to fix that shit, some teachers will insert themselves.
This is what happens when you don't think before you do something.
When I was coming up through the indoctrination centers they call school, and indoctrination camps they call school, I met 2 or 3 good teachers. I still keep in contact with one of my teachers to this day. I just did a job.
See, exactly. There you go.
I did a job at her house 2 months ago, but she really tried to help. She really tried to help me and other kids like myself. But the majority of those teachers, they be Masons, and they just beat it, and they show up for a check.
They're
but
like
they
the
really,
police.
huh?
You're like the police. There's one good one here and there, and that's it. I think it's designed that way purposely.
But at the end of the day, they all agents for the Matrix, because you type police in the gematria calculator, it comes back as 33. But some teachers be Eastern Star Masons, because you gotta think they propagating and they indoctrinating the kids with John D. Rockefeller's philosophy. When you go to school, get them curriculums. That's the indoctrination. That's to make that curriculum is to make you a zombie. It's to make you think for the system, to make you a slave for the beast. It teaches you to have a hive mentality. That's what they're trying to program you to be, a hive-minded bot, instead of being a free thinker like us, like ourselves, right?
I like how you said hive-minded, right? What shape do bees create in their hive? You know, you got spelling bees. You got the.
Shut up, Kate. We're not talking about fucking hives.
Search up. Listen.
It's a figure of speech, bro.
Search up. Yeah, I wonder why.
Bring the smoke to the hive mind.
Stop interrupting people.
Listen, look up the beehive symbolism and shit.
Man, I posted a video. I posted a 15-second short on my channel.
Behave yourself, man.
Gage, shut up.
of a woman wearing a mask out
I'll
out in
bring
the
you my
heat.
stuff.
It was 100 degrees outside, and she had a mask on. So I posted that chart on my channel, and I said, I got all these bots coming in my channel, taking up for saying, "Hey, that's a good thing. She wearing a mask outside." That's a personification of having a hive mind. They just come out of it, like they just come out of nowhere, man. They swarm you. If you decided I'm gonna
And
stand
they
over here and be
blindly
good,
do it too. They don't even
man.
realize they're doing it. Cause I've done that a few times with stuff, and I catch on like, wait a minute, why am I even defending that shit? What's going on here?
Yeah, you don't want to be hive-minded, man. That's because they want everybody in synchronicity with each other. Because once you wake up, you start realizing everybody does the same thing on the same accordance. Everybody does everything in syncs with each other, and that's bad, man. But that's what school. But going back to the teachers, that's what the teachers program us to be. That's what the system programs us to be. We just break free from that shit. But I'm just saying that to say this. I have met like 2 teachers that was good. That's it. Other than that, they was all just like everybody else, man. Being an agent against me.
Holiness. You ever looked at that word holy? It's like when a hole is something that is dug up out of the ground. It
Right.
really refers to the underworld. To be holy is to be underground.
Right. And to be holy is using your whole brain. It's bringing the subconscious and the conscious mind together. That's what makes you whole. Using your whole brain. Not they think holy means going to church, worshiping, getting on your knees, being submissive, or being
Getting on
corporeal.
your knees. That's wild.
Yeah. You gotta get on your knees and suck. You gotta suck Jesus Christ. I ain't gonna say that. You gotta suck him off. Get on your knees and suck. Get on your knees and repent. Suck him
Yeah,
off. You worship Buddha, Allah. You worship God. God with the
that's
capital G.
You
Also,
must bow down.
that
Yeah,
word,
bow down and suck it.
the holy one, it really
You must
referring
bow.
to a female aspect.
I hope
Who's
so.
who's the holy one of the two?
That's what it's saying. Yeah.
When you
Why is
really
that?
when you look at not just the spelling of words, but how
They're
they
all
are
the same being,
pronounced.
All the examples are the same fucking being, you know that, right? And it's a part of you, technically.
And this is one of the things that I found interesting about Santos Bonacci is about his synchronicity of something. He's right about that, but now he's preaching this. What's it called? Like astrotheology and all that bullshit, which is a lot of nonsense. But he was right about like how all words, when you look at not just the spelling, but just listen to them, they have a lot of different meanings, and you can tell where it came from. Holiness. That word really has no meaning, immediate meaning. Just what we what's the word? I don't know. Honey from New Zealand.
Man, the English vocabulary is the English the verbiage the dialogue and verbs we speak to each other, man, is so demonic. That's why my ancestors, they try to demonize my ancestors and say they couldn't read. It wasn't the fact that my ancestors couldn't read. We couldn't understand the language
Yeah.
because we didn't speak English. We was too.
Maybe that's a good thing in a way,
Yeah,
right?
we spoke Niji with each other. We didn't speak. They came over here and gave us this vocabulary, gave us this verbiage, and that's what I'm saying. They try to make it seem like we were just dumb. We didn't know because we didn't. It's like, what the hell is this? They gave us a Bible and said, this is our new language. We didn't understand it because we didn't know it.
It's really about the subconscious that they teach, that they brainwash really in schools. This whole gematria stuff. It's like you wouldn't understand this subconsciously if you didn't understand letters and numbers. If you had no
Right.
concept of that, you wouldn't understand this, and you wouldn't be subconsciously manipulated by it.
Right, yeah, because gematria
All right, look at the
word.
capabilities. Hold on, let me see something. Look at the
But
capabilities of
gematria
AI,
for
right?
Hebrew.
There's an algorithm. There's a cause to every effect. There's a certain way, there's a certain way things react, and you can understand that. And through algorithms and shit, you can make language models like AI that's based off a language model. You know what I mean? Our reality is based off a language model too. We call it English at this moment because they're speaking that language right now, apparently, right? Everybody,
Yep.
that's like the language you can go learn it. You know, everyone needs to learn it, apparently.
Right. Words
Besides
and numbers.
Mandarin, it's the second most spoken language in the entire world. Besides Mandarin,
Right. Words and
probably.
numbers work in tandem with each other. You remember back in the day, Michael Jackson came out with that song, ABC equal easy is 1, 2, 3. They were saying that was gematria right there. Even with the old phones that we had back in the day. Remember the old phones, they had the numbers and the words on them? They took that shit off them phones. They ain't want nobody knowing gematria.
Hey, you gotta click 3 times to get to the letter C.
Yeah, they took them off them phones. They ain't want nobody knowing gematria, because once you start getting into gematria, you start realizing like, hey man, this is a matrix. This shit is scripted and controlled because it's all ran on numbers.
That's when I say that these underworld civilizations, they run on AI. That's what I mean. You know, they only a computer entity or an AI entity would be capable of running something like this. No being in existence except for the creator, of course.
We can call it AI.
Is capable of this.
Angels or demons or something before. But this is the shit manifests into fucking reality. You know what I mean? It's happening right now. It's a language model, though. It's
no physical being, I should say, is capable of running something like this. You know.
No, this ancient technology they have. This artificial intelligence, this AI, it's ancient technology they using. It's been around.
It's called you're in the simulation, bro.
You're right. It's been around. This has been cosmic technology since the very beginning of the universe. Since the very beginning, it goes back all the way to the end. Ain't all old ancient technology that they use.
The fact that it's possible means it's already happened, like beyond amount.
I believe it's necessary because they wouldn't be able to survive otherwise, because they're so fucking retardedly stupid. You know, they need some kind of database, something that basically is smarter than themselves. See, it's always like you need something to save you. This is another basis of this entire reality, in my opinion. And that's why this is pushed so hard. It's always like, give your power away to somebody else or something outside of yourself.
It's fucking sorcery, really.
Yeah.
Right.
You're going between realms and shit. That's like interdimensional, that shit. You know,
right. They want that loose. This
in the black cube.
My bad. They want that loose at all costs, man. They want your energy, your life force at all costs. I had mentioned this on Charles's panel not too long ago. This is why when people go to church and they're submissive, what do? They put their hands in the air because they're giving their energy away. They're just giving it away. Free energy. You got all type of invisible entities coming along getting their energy.
Well, nothing's free, but listen, there's unlimited energy and shit. So again, this like when you put this up, like when you put that alludes that you know, people react where, oh, they're taking my energy. That means I have some sort of limit. You know what I mean? Again, this is another mental fucking program.
Man, this is an energy extraction matrix.
So when
matrix.
you say this and think this shit, pretty much.
When you guys say energy, I would actually say that's
mind,
attention.
Hold on. The subconscious mind, that tells it that I'm on running off reserves and I'm going to run out, and I'm pretty much just giving it away at that point. So what are you talking about?
Giving away your attention, exactly. It's like you can use the word attention for energy.
AK, so what? Hold on. AK, so what?
Reality is a mind game on time.
K, what you just say, K? You said when somebody gets their energy away, you can give your energy away to anything. People say, man, I ain't giving that no energy. I ain't feeding into that. Just like what you were, just like what you the other day.
You've created the issue already in your mind.
Right. But you can still give your energy to someone. Like, hey man, I wish I never gave this person my energy. I wish I never gave that my energy. I wish I never blew up.
What do you mean? That means you're in lack. That means you have limited energy in your mind.
I gotta jump off here in 5 minutes.
Limited energy that's easily influenced. That's what it is. what ends up happening after when you start thinking, oh, all that. What are you talking about?
Hey, Cage, let me ask you a question, bro. How old are you? Hey, Cage, let me ask you a question. How old are you, man?
I have no idea.
Hey, when you talk, I'm gonna say one thing to you, man. I'm not gonna blow up this time. When you talking to somebody, man, you must have lived a sheltered life, because when you talk to somebody, I got a feeling like you come off as disrespectful, man. And I don't think you would do that. I don't think you would do that in my face, man. But I'm just saying, bro. If you're gonna be out in this real world, man, I don't know if your parents or your mom or your daddy never taught you, but you gotta have some respect when you talking to people, bro. Because that can get you punched in your mouth where I'm from, man. You coming out disrespectful, that'll get you punched in your mouth. I ain't saying I would do that. I'm not making threats towards nobody, but man, I don't know what type of house you was raised in, how your parents raised you.
I'm saying, listen. Let me say something. I mean, no disrespect, but if we were in person and that, exactly, it's a whole different story.
That's what I'm saying. You must have had a sheltered life or grew up with rich parents, your attitude, that's how your attitude comes off. Because I've been around rich kids, and you come off as one of them spoiled rich kids that's never been checked.
Say something real quick. I've known Cage for a long time, and that's just the way he interrupts people. He just talks before his turn. He just doesn't want to stop, dude.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I wasn't raised like that, man. I was raised on you respect.
Earlier I said, how many people have told you to shut the fuck up, Cage? And he says, too many to count or whatever, And this is exactly what we're talking about, Cage. You fucking interrupt people all the time. You repeat the same stuff over and over and over again.
That's how Cage is, true song. But I feel you.
Yeah, all right. I'm just saying, like I'm built like I carry myself with respect, man. I respect other men, I respect other people until they give me a reason not to respect them. Some people come off as like dickheads. They're like, man, I'll slap shit out this dude, man. You ever been around somebody like, hey, man, shut your bitch ass up, man.
I'm saying there's a lapse of communication because we're not face to face and not in person, right? So I'm saying in person, you know what time it is. You'll see through and make your judgment after. But online, it's a bit more difficult because it's through another filter. I mean, it's always filtering.
Kate, if it was up to me,
likes debating.
The next filter again.
If it was up to me,
it's all good. It's all good. He comes. I worked at a golf course I was a cook at a golf course before, man. A lot of rich kids. And that's how they talk sometimes. That's how some of the people up there talk.
I grew up in public housing, extremely poor, crazy as fucking shit. I can make a movie.
Oh, okay. I'm saying, I don't know, man. That's how them kids, that's how they talk, man.
Yeah, they talk like they know everything, but it never makes any sense, pretty much. Cage. And then we're back at the beginning where we started, Cage. Think before you speak.
Round we go.
Think before you speak, Cage. There's this hermetic saying, those that know are silent, and those that don't know, they talk a lot. I don't know the exact words, but
man, I went from trying to break energy down, and next thing I know, this dude here he go again, being on that whole shit.
The lips of wisdom are sealed, except to the.
Ain't no way you was raised in the bricks. Ain't no way you was raised in no projects, bro. Nah, ain't no way, man. Because I grew up. Nah.
Did you?
Ain't no way. What projects you was raised in? What hood was you?
Brick City? Are you from Brick City, or are you just saying that?
No, I'm saying the bricks. The bricks mean.
I'm from the
projects.
farm, bro.
Ah, I don't know. I'm not familiar with that. There's just something that comes up I listen to Redman a lot, and he talks about like Brick City. I don't know what exactly that is. But
I'm from the farm. I'm from the
bricks mean projects. And speaking of projects,
okay, I understand now. Yeah,
projects.
So
ain't that our one?
That's why it's called projects.
Yeah. Okay.
And Charles, what do some females call themselves? Hood rats. I want a hood rat chick. Give me a project chick, a hood rat. So damn, you're a lab rat inside of a project. When I was young, I thought to myself, damn, why are we living in the hood like this? I always thought to myself, like, damn, why are we living in the projects? And then I go out to this area, all the white people living out here. But when I go back down here, I see number niggas like me living. I'm thinking to myself, that never set well with me.
I think it's
Yeah.
wild. When I went to New York City and I got to see the project buildings for myself. Like projects out here, we have a few areas that have 7, 8, 9 floors, but that's it. In New York, it's like 20 floors, 16. There's thousands of people, like a beehive in one building, like an ant farm. I think that's wild, bro. That's a lot of neighbors, and no wonder they got paid. Hustling.
Yeah.
You know how many clientele is in every building?
I have a question. Shut up, Cage. I want to ask something. These projects, are these like designed for like people of the same ethnic background, or?
Yeah, they designed for melanated. They was made for Aboriginal, melanated, copper colored Indians like myself to live in. They took us. They came took the land.
Poor white people.
Yeah, you got white people living in projects too. Don't get it misconstrued. Because I grew up some white people from the hood, but
Not
majority
many,
of
but in general, the inhabitants are mostly like one specific ethnicity.
the real Indians, the real Indians like myself, they put us in projects, man. Now ask yourself why they putting all the original occupants of this land mass in projects.
Well, they put them on reserves over here. They have their own court system.
Yeah, and we know, Cage. When they create divisions, it creates tension. And then.
Hey, Cage, man, we ain't talking about them $5 Indians. Them ain't real Indians, dog. Go do your research, man. Them ain't real Indians. Those are called $5 Indians.
I know your script.
It's not a narrative, cocksucker.
I know your script, man.
It's not a script, cocksucker.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not a script. How's it a script? This is facts. This is real. This is real shit. It's facts, man. I know who I am. You's a dickhead. They're living in mama's basement off in the suburbs somewhere. If we was face to face, I would whoop your ass. I would beat the dog. I would beat the brakes off of you. I will beat the brakes off you, bro. I will beat your ass like your daddy. Man, hold on, man. I will beat your ass like your daddy should have, man. I will pull I wouldn't even punch you. I wouldn't even punch you because you're a hoe. I would take my belt off literally and beat your ass with my belt. Even though you're a grown man, you just a hoe. They talking about it's a narrative in the script. You was a hoe.
It's the same.
Come on, guys. Cage.
It's the same but different in
I don't like you, bro, from that shit you said last time. You don't know what you don't know what you be talking about. I don't like you, bro. You was a hoe. And I will beat your ass like your daddy should have.
Okay. Yeah. Man, do you have a good relationship with your father?
Yes, I do. I was raised with my dad raised me. I grew up in a 2-parent household, cocksucker.
What does this has nothing to do with?
See what I'm saying? He's trying to be low key. He's trying to be low key. He's trying to be low key, passive aggressive. You didn't grow up with your father. My daddy raised me.
No, I asked you, do you have a good relationship? You said yes, you do.
Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that, pussy.
I'm saying my response to that is family.
Don't fucking bullshit me, bro. You're fucking. We all know what that implies,
He's a pussy. He wouldn't say none of this. He wouldn't say nothing. He probably low key racist too. He don't say the N-word a few times in his life. He a hoe.
I don't believe
that. Fuck out of here, bro. You're the one who brought up the whole fucking thing. Really. So
yeah, because I was trying to get my point across, but you coming over
me and I put it back on you. Now I'm the bad guy, right?
What tribe are you from, Mississippi?
Because you don't listen, Cage. You fucking keep talking and talking.
You said, man, I swear I would beat. I was born in Jackson, Mississippi, bro. I was born in Jackson, Mississippi.
Bro, ask them. Go all the way down the Mississippi River, and they'll tell you about Cage, bro.
Yeah.
Man, nobody don't know you, man.
Ask them.
Nobody don't know you.
Let's see. Okay, yeah, exactly.
You ain't left your mama's base. You ain't left your mama and daddy house in years. Nobody don't know you.
All right.
It doesn't live at home, though.
You're lucky. The lights are off at the moment. So.
Dom said, Truth Zone, it would serve better if you knew Cage's behavior.
Yeah,
It would
this
bring
is
more
all.
clarity.
Yeah,
It's
he ain't gonna change.
Man, he
It's
got the
just
behavior. He got the behavior of a punk, of a fucking, of a pussy. Nigga, man, somebody was. I wouldn't even punch. I would slap the shit out you. I wouldn't even punch you because you sound soft.
I'm sure you would.
Canadians, am I right?
Have you
They
trained
sure did a
anything?
number on you guys up there.
Man, I gotta go. I gotta run. Yeah, I was good. It was, thanks for having me on, Charles. Man, it's always love and peace and respect. Shout out to you too, bro. Who? Cage, you a hoe, man.
You know,
I'd like to talk to you some other
All
sorry
right,
for
time.
man.
the
I'm out.
Get out, Page.
sorry for
Get
the
out.
peace, yo.
Much love.
Gage. What did we just... Earlier we talked about it, but you just don't listen, do you? You
One
always have
ear
to
out
have
the
the
other.
last word, even though you don't know what you're talking about.
One ear out the other, Uno. One time.
Yeah, I know. It's
One
obvious.
ear out the other. You know what I mean? I'm gonna give you a nice piercing and shit on the ear.
Stop sending me stupid bullshit on Discord. It's like, why the fuck you send me something about, what's it called, the sharks or something, the Shark Tank or something, and it's like, oh, you're dead to me or something, and it's like, okay, I thought I was dead to you. What does that even mean?
You've been puzzled by that? Bro, that was like months
No, not
ago.
really. I don't know.
I sent you a link to my fucking live.
I just
after months.
looked at it,
It was-
ignored it,
Bro,
and moved
the
on.
last message was like May 21st, and then 21st you got a fucking message that go to the live.
What?
All of a sudden you're a peer here.
Are you angry that I'm
I
not
guess it
talking
went-
to anybody anymore, or?
Just checking in, make sure I'm doing all right.
No need to worry about me. I would worry about you, not about me.
I'm not worried. I'm just checking in. It was like 3 months. Like it's not like, well, what do you keep messaging me? It's like
No, I said, message me stupid shit. It's like if you have something to say, say it. Not just some cryptic video.
It's all cryptic. Can you not see it? You're not ready yet.
Yeah. I'm sure.
It shows you everything. You should have fucking listened, learned, and observed. You don't even have to listen. Fucking put it into action.
I'm thinking of a number, Cage.
I already know, and I'm not gonna go. You're thinking it in your own language. Fuck off. You're trying to trick me with your own language.
You're in deep water. You're in deep water, Cage, and I know. You know, we talked a lot in the past with Token and everything, and I know a lot. I know pretty much everything, you know. So don't break open my mouth, if you know what I mean. So just act normal and a little bit respect would be nice, sure. I totally agree with what was his name? Oh my god.
Yeah,
What was the guy's name?
I don't know what the fuck happened, but either way.
This fucking, I can't even find his name because fucking Dominic Terzingi has fucking spammed the chat the last fucking 2 hours with fucking nonsense. It's like,
who's wrong?
You guys like more
What if
combat.
before I jump off here, the woman in this picture's breast is shining light. So what if breast milk is pure light? They got us drinking fucking cow milk. What the fuck is going on? Should be drinking your mama's milk. They got people drinking cow and goat milk and fucking soy milk and fucking bean milk.
yeah,
Sucking on a cow titty, man. That's wild.
The thing is, like, you can't really use women as a, you know, as milk to make milk. You know, you can't just lock them up somewhere and milk them every day. It doesn't work like that. I don't know. It seems a little bit weird, to be honest.
Those are the right. Go smoke all that. Well, think about it. all the shit they inject that them animals with, and
Private
it all gets passed
rip.
through the fucking milk.
Shut up, Cage. Dominic, I literally was sitting there with my hand, my face in my hands, face palming, because of the pure and utter stupidity that you were fucking that was coming out of your mouth.
We're gonna have to put you guys.
And I literally just couldn't answer anymore. I just you left because I didn't say anything, because I was like, what do I even say to this? That was my, you know what I thought after I talked to you? I thought that demonic possessions were real for 5 minutes, because that's how insanely stupid you sound. Okay, so don't fucking talk shit to me, because you don't have anything to say. You're not capable of making any statements that make sense. Whatever. Fuck you.
I think a lot of people are possessed technically. I think pretty much everybody's possessed, but it depends. What are you possessed by?
Yeah, I'm the one here self-absorbed. This guy.
Possessed.
I think I'm going blind from looking into these phones too much.
This is what you get when you listen to Cage. It's like, oh, you want to talk to this guy? You want to talk to this guy? Wounded.
We're losing vision.
Yeah, I'm wounded, all right, but not by you. This guy.
The wounded one.
I don't even remember a word he said, because it was all nonsense. I remember what I said. I said, do you know anything? And then I just...
It's a language model.
I'm sorry, Charles. It's just people piss me off.
I'm just stoned analyzing.
Well, you're not wrong. This guy triggers me. Well, stupidity triggers me. Let's put it that way.
Peace, look within. Who else came? JG.
I know you think you're smart, Dominic. Just whatever, bro.
Bro, you and Dominic need to fucking... I'm saying we're going to get the cage. We're going to fucking settle this shit. We're going to put you guys in the cage. We're going to fucking... You'll meet you in a different realm.
This has nothing to do about me. There's understanding and there's stupidity, and
All right, I'm about to jump off here. It's 3:33.
Got stuff to do. See you.
Peace to everyone in the chat. Hold on. When did this happen?
Much love.
Peace to Cage, you know who. True Zone. Did I miss anyone? Nope. Peace to everyone in the chat. I'm out, man. I'm about to go grub. Thanks for coming through, and I'll check you out tomorrow, man. Peace.